What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here, and welcome to this video. A few days ago at this point, maybe a week, pending on when I get this up, I uploaded my reaction to Doom vs. Chief, the newest death battle. And it did pretty good as far as like a video goes, especially for my standards of videos, views, and whatnot. Maybe not Mr. Beast, but for me, it did pretty good. And I haven't really watched too many death battles. I can only name a few off of the top of my head that I have seen. Of course, the OG Doom vs. Chief. I've seen Popeye versus Saitama. I've seen Mob versus Tornado, I think her name, from One Punch Man. And a few others. I won't list all of them, but there's only a handful. But I haven't really seen too many. I think they're good reason because there's a lot that I'm not really familiar with. Like I'm not a big really Marvel or DC guy, but I've seen a little bit of some Marvel stuff, not too much DC, but I've been kind of staying away from those, and just kind of in case I ever watch stuff, I don't want too many like spoilers, whatnot, because I do make reaction stuff, and I've had some people express interest in seeing like my reaction to stuff like that, so I'm gonna just stay away from stuff like that right now. And just I haven't seen like One Piece and Attack on Titan, just some that I haven't experienced the characters enough to either get, or I don't want to get spoiled. But there are some that I picked out that I'm going to watch today in this video that I am good to go with, I believe. Also, if you want to know the death battles where I'm going to be watching in this video, I'll have a link or links in the description, a list in the description of all the ones. But if you want to remain surprised and you just not know what death battles are coming next, then I guess just watch and see. But if you are someone who wants to know the order, the list, I will be in the description below. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a binge of death battles today. Not sure how many we're gonna watch, but I'm gonna be starting it off with one from 13 years ago. Mario versus Sonic. Now, if you asked me a few years ago, I would have no idea anything about Mario or Sonic. But now, I've been a little bit introduced to some things of Sonic. I have watched Sonic X. I think that's the anime. I've seen some Sonic Boom meme-like compilation things, and I've seen just a few episodes of that. I've seen all the live-action Sonic movies. I saw that one like fan dub thing. I've seen a few things of Sonic, is what I'm trying to say. And Mario, not really anything canonical. Mario, I've seen SMG4 stuff, but I don't think that is an SML stuff. But I don't think that is canonical Mario. So I haven't played any Mario games myself. I haven't played any Sonic games myself other than Sonic.exe. So yeah, I think this one's alright to watch though, because I get the gist of the characters. I think this is interesting. So, I'm gonna start who am I rooting for and who am I expecting to win, because sometimes those are two different answers. For me, for this one, expecting to win, I'm gonna go with Sonic. I'm gonna start without that. I just think Sonic is, his speed, his super speed, that's gonna just put the edge on. But who I want to win, I don't have the strongest preference. Like the Master Chief and Doom, I'm like a huge Halo fan. I'm not a huge Sonic or Mario fan. I think I'm just gonna root for Sonic too, I guess, because I'm more familiar with Sonic. Like I said, I want like anything like SMG4 that influence my viewpoint on Mario, because I don't think that's fair canonical wise. But I have seen a few things of canonical Sonic. So let's start this off. This one's a shorter one, too. They get a bit longer.
Their rivalry is legendary and their fame unmatched. After battling for over 2 decades, this epic duel will finally meet a decisive end.
I've been waiting for this forever.
Mario, the whimsical Italian plumber.
And Sonic, the hyperactive hedgehog.
I'm Wizard and he's Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Mario is one of the Star Children and possesses many special abilities with the intent of protecting his home, the Mushroom Kingdom. Even as a baby, he was obviously destined for greatness.
When you got an army of dinosaurs serving you before you can even speak, you know you're gonna do great things.
He is well known for his incredible athleticism and unmatched jumping ability.
Who says white guys can't jump?
Plus, he's a powerhouse with the strength to lift heavy objects and crush enormous castles. He also
He's
uses his bare...
5'1", but can jump over 20 feet. That is crazy. High stamina, but I feel like Sonic, like it kind of that's tough. But superhuman strength and durability. I forgot they were taking that. I don't know. Was Mario might have a chance to
smash solid brick.
With his jumping skills and weight, he can pound and crush his foes into oblivion. And if he needs some extra firepower, well, he's got an entire arsenal of power-ups.
His first power-up is the Fire Flower. With it, Mario obtains pyrokinetic abilities.
Really? I always thought the flower was just really spicy.
He can create and manipulate fire to produce a variety of devastating attacks.
He's also got this frog suit thingy. While wearing it, Mario can jump even higher.
Even for
swim
13
faster,
years
and
ago,
breathe
these
underwater.
videos are pretty
The only
well put
problem
together.
is, no one's really gonna take him seriously wearing that thing. Look at him.
Several different power-ups have granted Mario flight before, but none as well as the Cape
Maybe
Feather.
I wasn't
With it,
familiar
Mario can fly
with
for an
Mario's
unprecedented
game.
amount of
I
time.
might have
Metal
been
Cap
sleeping
turns
on
Mario's
Mario.
entire body into indestructible living steel. But while Metal Mario is extremely heavy, his strength and speed are boosted, giving him 10 times more power and just as much agility as
Metal
before.
Mario. I
The
didn't know
Starman
Metal Mario
envelops
was a
Mario
thing.
in a blinding aura of compressed energy, granting increased speed and complete invulnerability for a short time.
Oh wait, Sonic
Touching
has
a
the
normal
Super
enemy in this
Sonic
state
thing.
will
Yeah,
instantly
Sonic's
kill
got
the foe.
this. He's got
And
that
while it's
Super
not
Sonic.
technically a power-up, Mario has a hammer that can
I
crush
forgot
almost
about that
anything.
for a
It seems
second.
Mario's always popping shrooms to get more power. And with the Mega Mushroom, he gets ginormous. Mowing down people, plants, environment, hell, everything.
Mario has battled a larger variety of enemies than any other video game hero. Whether a foe is large or small, scary or goofy, dumb or deadly, nothing has ever proved too much for him.
Except for keeping track of his woman. She's always getting kidnapped and he's always showing up at the wrong castle. Somebody needs to throw a GPS tracking bracelet on that bitch.
He's fairly impulsive and not much of a strategist, preferring to quickly fight his way through problems before thinking things through.
But that doesn't matter. Italy's greatest hero can power through anything.
It's me, Mario!
Sonic the Hedgehog is the fastest
Alright.
thing alive and a freedom fighter battling to save the world from the tyrannical...
Sorry, so that was the Mario side. Interesting. Lots of abilities and super strength stuff that I didn't really take into account. But I remembered while watching that Sonic has the super. So
Dr.
we'll see.
Ivo
I'm
Eggman
sticking with Sonic.
Tree-hugging hippie.
Sonic's most notable ability is his speed. He can easily break the sound barrier in mere seconds. While his top speed is unknown, he has clocked in an average of 765 miles per hour.
Not
Holy
bad,
crap,
to say
this
the
guy
least.
must blow through shoes.
He can further increase his speed with his trademark figure 8 technique.
But he's not just fast on his feet. He can curl up into a spiky ball and rip through his opponents with the spin attack.
His homing attack rockets toward an opponent and can hit multiple times.
And with his spin dash, he can reach top speeds almost instantly. How does this guy not vomit?
During his adventures, he has used a variety of different shields to improve his abilities. Each shield can deflect minor projectiles and have environmental advantages, though they will disintegrate after blocking a deadly blow.
The fire shield can absorb, well, fire and heat, though it can't survive underwater. No shit. But with it, Sonic can use a fiery dash attack.
The lightning shield can't survive in
Sonic
aquatic
got some
environments either, but
power-ups
it gives Sonic
too,
a midair
though.
jump for further aerial control.
And with the bubble shield, he can breathe underwater and control his jumps with a powerful bounce. Why do we keep mentioning water, you may ask? Cause he can't freaking swim.
Sonic's ultimate power-up, however, isn't a shield at all. After absorbing thousands of power rings during his adventures, Sonic has become an embodiment of chaos. Using the power of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, Sonic can tap into their incredible powers and summon the form of Super Sonic.
Super Sonic
yeah.
can fly, breathe underwater, and is completely invulnerable.
Not to mention his speed is increased 1,000-fold.
But as with most things that are unbelievably powerful, it has a time limit. Without a steady supply of power rings, it can't even last a full minute.
And when the form finally
Okay.
subsides, Sonic returns to normal at
Not
peak
even a full
physical
minute, I didn't
form,
know that.
regardless of his condition prior to
I
the
feel like that was
transformation.
not
While
what
Sonic's
happened in
always
the
risking
movie.
his
But I guess
life
there was
saving the
a
world from all
time.
kinds of
Or
dangerous
there was
robots
power.
and demigods, he's kind of a dick.
Sonic is cocky, arrogant, and addicted to action. He gets cranky and unstable when he's cooped up for too long.
And if you ignore him, he'll straight up leave you.
But despite his rough personality, he'll do whatever it takes to save the day.
Ooh, I like to hang, but I gotta juice.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, I gotta get me some rocket boots so I can run like Sonic.
What? Where are you going to get the money for rocket boots?
Netflix?
Netflix delivers movies straight to your house, saving you time and
they
money.
got a
You can watch all
Netflix
kinds of TV
sponsor?
and films streamed to your
Oh,
PC.
this was back when they sent stuff to your house? Yo. Wait, how long was 13 years ago? 2011? I thought they were done with that by then.
Mac, phone, or
Interesting.
your TV with a Netflix-ready device like the PS3, Xbox 360, or Nintendo Wii.
Or you can use them all at once for what I call super flicks.
Go to netflix.com/death battle for a free trial
Sponsor
membership.
still
Right
work.
now, it's time for a death battle!
That's fire though.
All right, Chubby, let's settle this.
Let's go. Fight.
Oh, he's using the fire thing. Sonic got dodge. He's got the speed. Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. I still think Sonic's got this low key. Mario is putting up a good fight. He hasn't even seen Super Sonic yet. Oh, those are bomb things?
Mamma mia.
Oh, the water. Oh, the unlucky. Bruh. Oh, no, he's got that. What the heck is... Oh, that's the frog suit. Is he even gonna get to use Super Sonic, or is he just dead?
Now I'll show you.
Oh no, he's got it.
How's that, plumber?
What's that? Oh, metal. Oh, he's just... It's really that strong? Oh my. Oh no. Yeah.
So you're a bit tougher than I thought, huh? But now it's time for me to finish this. Whoa.
Yeah, Sonic might be cooked. Oh no. Oh no. Sonic, you can move faster than that.
Slow.
I was gonna say. Now he's shrinking back.
Now's my chance.
I don't really have a horse in this round. I kind of like Mario too. As much I don't like. Ooh. Oh, Sonic did win.
Now that's what I call a death battle.
Their power-ups seemed evenly matched, countering blow for blow.
All
Mario
right.
was even able to counter the Undead.
You know what? I thought I shouldn't have lost faith. I thought after Super Sonic didn't do anything and the Metal Mario thing kind of counteracted it better than I thought. I thought it was over, but hey, no, Sonic got it. But as I was trying to say, I don't hate Mario or dislike Mario. I kind of like them the same. Like, I'm not the craziest Mario or Sonic fan, but I like them both. They're both cool. So I didn't really care who won that. But I was right.
Unstoppable Supersonic.
But with their arsenals exhausted, Mario was no match for Sonic's natural speed. Even if they had used their lesser-known power-ups like the Ice Flower or Super Emeralds, there's no reason to say the result would be any different.
Looks like Mario just couldn't keep up.
The winner is Sonic the Hedgehog.
I bet the Mario
Next time
fans
on Death
won't
Battle.
be too happy
Next
about
month,
that.
we're doing something a little different.
Between two people, everybody wants to see fight to the death, because we hate them.
Okay, so they teased it at the end there, but the next one we're gonna watch, I think is a joke one. Or I don't know. I don't know if it's a joke. I thought it might have been an April Fool's joke. But it was posted on July 12th. This one, we got Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. I don't even know what to make of this one. I don't know, like... I legit don't know. So of course Rebecca Black, I don't even know if she ever made anything besides that song, It's Friday, Friday. Justin Bieber, again, this is 2011, I had to check the date. So I don't know how many songs he had. I think we're talking about like the baby, 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 oh era of Justin Bieber. So I think my one theory that's if this is gonna be any remotely serious is they're gonna like play each other's songs until like their ears just explode or whatever. And honestly, I think Rebecca Black might win this one if that's the because it's like I don't know. Looking back on it, were those Justin Bieber songs really that bad? Like everyone at the time was like, oh, you like that Justin? Ooh, like Justin Bieber. Like I was one of those people too. But like, I mean, maybe kind of no. I'm not sure if they're bangers, but kind of boppy. Especially some newer Justin Bieber songs. They're not like new, but newer than 2011. Where we're all right. So I don't really have a horse in this race either. There are gonna be some. I do have a horse in the race today. So but I want to watch a couple of like a decent amount of the death battles today. So stay tuned. But this is the next one: Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. I think Rebecca's gonna win, but I gotta say I'm gonna pull for Justin here. I think if I had to listen to either of their musics, I'd go Justin Bieber. So that's my reasoning.
You know what I hate more than stupid tween pop stars? Absolutely goddamn nothing.
Like Justin Bieber, the young pop sensation, and Rebecca Black, the girl who took YouTube by storm.
I hate him even more than my blood-sucking ex-wife.
I'm Wizard and he's Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In 2007, Justin Bieber was discovered by marketing executive Scooter Braun by complete accident. Under the tutelage of his mentor, Usher Raymond IV, Bieber spent a year training before becoming the biggest teen hit since Hannah Montana.
Why? Why is he so popular?
His single titled Baby is the most viewed video on YouTube with nearly 600 million hits.
This probably all
it's just
changed.
a kid singing auto-tuned songs, saying girl and baby over and over again.
His premature fame has prompted a vast line of merchandise, ranging from lunchboxes, squiggly straws, t-shirts, and a perfume line that is shaped like
A vagina.
Right. But that's not the strangest of his products. A lock of his hair once sold for $40,000.
That is
What?
crazy.
No! God damn it! That is the biggest waste of money I have ever heard of!
True, unless they're planning to clone him.
know
No,
it's
that's
his?
even worse. Why would anyone want more than one of this musical abomination roaming this planet?
Anyway, the hair toured the world collecting bids with its own bodyguard to protect it from crazy fangirls.
Oh yes, heaven forbid someone assassinate the lock of precious hair.
And speaking of his fans, they really are crazy. The most passionate call themselves Beliebers.
You're kidding.
They have even been known to trample and injure others in rabid Zerg rushes.
That's it. I'm done with. I can't go on in this world when this is what is popular.
Also, several of these Beliebers are so crazy, sometimes they even try to hurt Bieber. In one concert, a fan hurled a water bottle at Bieber, traumatizing him for life and inflicting a fear of thrown objects. To capitalize on this, another audience started chucking so much crap he refused to perform. Once, he even got into a fistfight with an older man who attacked him, and he threatens paparazzi in his spare time.
I don't know if those are believers throwing the things at
Will
him.
not hesitate
They're
to
trying to kill
even
him.
his most loyal fans.
Well,
They bought a ticket at mad expenses because they're right up there just to try and end
gives
it
him
up.
one redeeming quality at
Like
least.
they hate him that
Despite
bad.
all the crap
probably.
he gets, he still gets on stage to give a show.
A horrible, horrible life-scarring show.
I forgot he was on like
Feel better?
it's like NCIS or something. Yay, Friday. Yeah.
Rebecca Black's mother paid
These were so annoying songs back then, but you can laugh about it now.
$4,000 to have Art Music Factory create a music video starring her daughter. This single, Friday, received more than 160 million views in mere months, making Rebecca a viral star for what is considered the worst song ever made.
$4,000, I can come up with
Still
a better
might
song
be.
than that crap.
Though Black is an early riser, she seems to have an extreme case of ADHD. She cannot focus on one thing for very long. While waiting for the bus to go to school, she completely forgot what she was doing and wound up going to a party with her friends after seeing them drive by, skipping class in the process.
Whoa, that kid looks way too young to be driving.
She is also incredibly indecisive. She can't even figure out where to sit.
But when she finally makes up her mind, she makes the worst possible choice.
Instead of sitting in the car like a normal person, she stands in the back seat, even while quote-unquote cruising down the highway. Keep in mind, the average speed limit of a highway in the United States is 60 miles per hour.
This chick is crazy.
Recently, she was betrayed by her own mentor, aka Fat Usher, when he tried charging viewers to watch the Friday video. In response, Black
Charge
claimed
people.
copyright and took the video down.
Yeah, good use of $4,000
Oh, dang.
there.
She also enjoys a big bowl of cereal every morning and was nominated for MTV's Favorite Animated GIF Award.
If that's a real award, I need my own boomstick gift stat.
But the worst
That's
is yet to come. Rebecca Black is a believer.
What?
Justin Bieber is her idol.
Ah, god
Oh,
damn it.
really?
I hope you cut yourself, and I hope you get an eating disorder so you'll look pretty.
All
What?
right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
So
Oh,
this
by
is
the way,
our
to make
idol
things a little
becomes
more,
your rival.
interesting, I've scattered random weapons all over the arena.
What?
Quiet, Wiz, it's time for the ad. Gamefly's the biggest online video game
Oh,
rental service with over
Gamefly. Yo, they're
7,000
throwing it
games.
back
You
with
can
the
rent 4
ads.
games at a time for only, how much, Wiz?
$15.95 a month.
That's like nothing. And there's no late fees or due dates,
I-
and shipping's always...
Anyone maybe watching this ever try Gamefly? I've never did, but I've seen the commercials, and in theory, it seemed pretty cool of an
Plus,
idea.
if you
But
like
now
the game,
there's
you can
Game
keep it at a
Pass,
heavily
which is, I think,
discounted
seems
price.
better.
Help support the Death Battle show by starting a 15-day free trial at gamefly.com/deathbattle.
What is this gonna be?
Fight.
So we're actually fighting. Oh, but he put random weapons. Oh, cereal and water. Oh, the water because he threw. Oh. Oh. Oh, she's getting in the car again. Just like the music video. Too indecisive. She. Oh. Oh, they both died. That's it. Oh, the Jonas Brothers.
What?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miley Cyrus!
What is this thing? Oh! Everyone's dying. We lost like the entire Disney Channel.
We just set a death battle record!
Not only did Bieber and Black take each other out, but also Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, and some poor 13-year-old driver. While Bieber's vain fear of thrown objects kept him at a distance, Black's indecisiveness and daredevil recklessness ruined any chance she had.
I don't know, Wiz. At least Rebecca turned him into roadkill before giving the wall a face high five.
A face high what? Black did a horrific
face
job.
Well, let's let the audience decide on who sucked the most.
Leave a comment detailing who you think was the most pathetic.
This fight really popped.
I feel
You know,
Justin Bieber, when she was deciding to get in the car, he should have charged her. Went, "Pff, I always have fear of flying objects, but I think she already threw everything. So I think he flopped the most. I thought they were gonna have Justin Bieber win there because they talked about how crazy the Believer fan base is, but so not to like make them mad. And well, I think, like I said, I think Friday's a little bit more annoying of a song than Baby, Baby, but no, they had like a draw. That was really funny. That was funny. That was a good one.
This battle is a draw.
It's a draw. All right, so this one's just a very little bit newer. This next one, it's 2012. And we're gonna be, I'm not necessarily going in order of ones, like I said, there's a lot that I am skipping because of course I don't want to like spoil myself for things, or I just don't really know anything about it. But this one's I thought was all right to watch. This is Pikachu versus Blanka, something like that. Pokemon versus Street Fighter. I've never played Street Fighter. I'm not a fighting game. I like Mortal Kombat, but as far as fighting games, though, I don't really play them, so I don't think I'll ever get into Street Fighter. I do like Pokemon, though. You know, as a kid, I used to watch the show, and even when Pokemon Go came out, I watched the show a decent bit. Shout out Pokemon XY. That's a very, very good anime, and yeah, I know Pokemon Go. I've played a little bit of the games too. Like I'm a Pokemon fan, so I'm gonna be rooting for Pikachu. And I don't know anything about Blanka, so I'm gonna be learning. But I'm gonna say Pikachu wins this as well. Pikachu's got this. Pika, let's go.
When you think of an electric charged combatant, these two always come to mind. Pikachu, Ash's first Pokemon.
And Blanka, the man-beast of Brazil.
I'm Wizard and he's Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Standing barely over 1 foot tall,
Blanka is looking a little tough, but I think Pikachu's got this.
Less than a newborn baby, Pikachu is the quick-footed electric mouse Pokemon, and the
He's
first
got
under
speed.
the command of Ash,
And he likes
trainer from
ketchup.
Pallet Town, because you don't need puberty to travel the world by yourself.
Pikachu is now Ash's most loyal and trusted companion, but he sure didn't start that way. He was actually kind of a dick. Then again, if a 10-year-old was trying to trap me in a tiny ball and make me fight other creatures to the death, that'd probably fuck him up too.
Being so small, Pikachu has low stamina and physical strength, but more than makes up for it with speed. However, his EV training was arbitrary and inconsistent.
EV what now?
Effort value training. Every time a Pokemon wins a battle, one of its abilities improve depending upon the opponent. Taking the first seasons of the show into account, we have compiled an estimation of Pikachu's statistics upon reaching his maximum level. By defeating so many Spearow early on, Pikachu's speed is off the charts.
The little lightning
I'm not gonna lie, also about the Pokemon anime, like I feel like after like the Diamond and Pearl anime, like I don't know, Pikachu should have low-key lost that fight. Unless it's like crazy, you know? Like Pikachu's been out here for so long. Level 99, like plus definitely. And yeah, I remember thinking like the black and white one that he lost to like a level 5 Snivy. I didn't ever really watch black and white, but I've heard
Brad isn't just quick. He's got two incredibly powerful weapons built into his face. Those aren't just rosy cheeks. They're electricity sacks, which he uses for attacks like his trademark Thunderbolt. And when that won't do the trick, he can use the extra fast quick attack to surprise his foes, or Iron Tail, which turns his tail hard as steel. Electro Ball is a projectile that for some reason deals more damage the slower an opponent is. But when things get serious, he'll bust out his greatest attack, the Volt Tackle.
The Volt Tackle strikes with the force of a mouse-powered Megaton warhead, but there's a catch. Pikachu receives recoil damage equaling 33% of the total damage dealt. This move cannot be used lightly.
Well, that's dumb. It's like, hey, I can kill you, but I'm gonna blow up my arm.
That's kind of weird.
Regardless, Ash's Pikachu is astounding. He's like a living battery, weaponized. Not only can he discharge an enormous amount of power, he can also absorb electricity and use it against his foes. In fact, he can conduct more wattage than any ordinary Pikachu, making him one of the toughest of his kind.
Yeah, but he's got his limits. Get too much electricity stored up and boom, no more Pikachu.
It's true, Pikachu is still a tiny mouse Pokemon with very clear limits. And even though he has long since reached his maximum potential, he refuses to evolve into the vastly superior Raichu due to some pretentious excuse of love and acceptance. What a waste of potential. Can you imagine how powerful he could be as a Raichu?
But Pikachu's accomplished quite a lot of impressive feats on his own. He's beaten legendary Pokemon and developed new fighting techniques like the counter shield and mid-air spin dodge. He may be the size of a squirrel, but he's one tough fighter.
Pikachu.
All right, you know, I of course I knew all that pretty much, but let's see what this
As a
guy.
child, Jimmy Blanka was a pale-skinned Brazilian boy. That is, until the horrific plane crash,
Like Lost.
of which he was the sole survivor, stranded in the Amazon. Trapped in an area filled with dangerous predators, he was forced to camouflage
Jimmy.
himself day and night. After many years of this, his skin absorbed enough chlorophyll to turn a permanent green hue.
Really? I always thought he was just some kind of jungle monster beast guy.
Despite his appearance, Blanka is actually extremely passive and gentle. However, piss him off and he enters an unstoppable bloodlust.
Well, that seems like a pretty drastic change.
But before he was old enough to fight the predators himself, he was forced to live off electric eels as his primary food source. After years of this diet,
Oh,
he developed a high
that's
resistance
what-
to electricity and somehow gained
that's
the
what,
ability to produce
okay.
similar electric shocks.
Be right back. Hitting eels?
Nope, Boomstick, it doesn't work like that. Plus, we kind of have a show to do.
Fine, but afterwards I'm proving you wrong.
Okay. Blanka eventually found his way to civilization by complete accident and found a friend in Dan Hibiki, the absolute worst Street Fighter on Earth.
Ah, Dan. Couldn't get any real people friends, so you had to resort to Jungle Frankenstein over here.
After arriving in the city, Blanka entered the Second World Warrior Tournament and discovered he was one of the most agile competitors there, leaping and ducking around his opponents with ease like a jungle monkey, which is basically what he is.
He uses a self-taught martial art, which he learned while fighting friggin' crocodiles and jaguars, that's what.
He has several unique attacks,
Okay.
with which he
Okay.
hurls through the air like a bullet, obliterating all laws of physics.
I don't know which jaguar or crocodile taught him that move, but shit, I want it! That aside, he's also got a few super moves. The Grand Shave Roll is a chargeable spin attack, and with Shout of Earth, Blanka can fire off a wave of uncontrollable electric energy. But you really gotta watch out for the Lightning Cannonball, where he rockets forward as a spinning ball of electric death.
Blanka is a deadly fighter and obviously an extremely tough survivor. However, his greatest weakness comes from his lack of formal training.
Oh,
in fact,
never won a tournament. He took Pikachu and ashed a bit to win one as well.
the only training he's ever had was under the tutelage of, guess,
Don't say it.
Dan Hibiki.
That's like anti-training.
And yet he has proven his combat skills time and time again. Though he did not win the World Warrior Tournament, he was picked from hundreds to represent Brazil, and through it rediscovered his mother and hometown. At long last, Blanka had come home.
Most terrifying family reunion ever.
So his Street Fighter has a show
Alright, the
too.
combatants are set.
I'm not
Let's
gonna lie, this guy might be tough. Pikachu can do it, but he's gotta like speed around him, Iron Tail, you know, Volt Tackle, like thunder. Like Pikachu's got the range. I think I still let's go
Wait,
Pikachu.
I accidentally deleted all of my porn. What do I do?
Carbonite Online Backup provides automatic backup and protection for your valuable computer files, and no hardware required. It uses a cloud.
That's a crazy
What,
way
like
to
the fluffy
transition
things
to
that
that.
make pictures in the sky?
No, Boomstick gets a network-based server.
Fight.
Yeah, let's go Thunderbolt. Oh, he's not. Oh, nice. Oh, that was quick attack, I believe. Now we got the Iron Tail. Oh my goodness, what was that? Oh. Nice. Electro Ball. Oh, he's got his own Electro Ball. That looks better. Oh, is that Volt Tackle? I think he's using too many moves, but we'll rock with it. Come on, Pikachu, put... I mean, are we sure? Are we sure that's a KO? Maybe I was only a mere flesh wound. I thought Pikachu might have been losing that, but dang. Oh, I have a 1-1-1 record right now because I predicted the first one correctly. I got Sonic over Mario. A draw is a draw, so that's the one on the end, and then I did not predict this one well, but I did not know Blanka, and I should have maybe switched, but sometimes you gotta go with your boys, you know, you gotta predict, but dang. Rip Pikachu, but hold on, wait, Thunderbolt, Volt Tackle, Quick Attack, Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, Iron Tail, Quick Attack, Volt Tackle. Yeah, I think that's too many moves. I don't think he had Volt Tackle and Electro Ball at the same time. Right? I don't know. He lost anyhow. Yeah, I guess he give him 10 moves and his head's still getting chopped off.
You know, I've always wanted to eat a Pokemon. What? They look delicious.
Pikachu may be powerful, but he can't compete with Blanka's ruthless skill.
Even though Pikachu was clearly quicker on his feet, his attacks had little effect. Blanka could resist the electric attacks, and the Iron Tail is a steel-type move, which as we all know is weak against electricity. Pikachu's only option was to outmatch Blanka's physical strength and stamina, which was just too much for the little guy.
And despite keeping a clear head, Pikachu rarely shows any exemplary competence or aptitude on his own. Many of his greatest achievements are actually a result of his trainer's quick thinking or downright luck.
Everything was going well until Pikachu
So
lost
he's a
his
merchant
The winner is
of Ash. Dang. Alright. Well, rip that one. So yeah, rip Pikachu. This next one is kind of similar to the one we started with, but it's the opposite at the same time. It's like the battle of the sidekick, the other half of the duos. It is Luigi versus Tails. Now, same thing pretty much with the Sonic and Mario. I know of Luigi, I know of Tails. I know same thing with, like, you know, I already explained why I've seen the Sonic and Mario. I haven't really seen too much canonical things. I know Luigi has that haunted mansion, so he's got the, like, you know, dealing with ghosts, but Tails, I don't know. Tails is too smart, I think. Too, you know, he's got the flying thing. I'm going to go with Tails in this one. I'm going to say Tails win this. And I don't really dislike Luigi at all. I don't I don't dislike Tails at all. But yeah, I'll say I'll root for Tails as well. But I'm not really. I won't mind too much. Other than for the sake of calling it, I won't mind too much if Luigi wins. But you know, I have to pick one. I'm gonna go with Tails on this one. So Tails for both who I'm rooting for and who I think is gonna win this.
With the dragon slain and the princess rescued, the hero revels in gold, glory, and cake.
but they couldn't have done it without a little help.
The sidekick. The people's champion would be lost without his player too, such as Luigi, Mario's younger brother.
And Tails the Fox, Sonic's deformed flying stalker.
Now, we have already proven that standard Mario and Sonic series power-ups perfectly counter each other, so, to not waste time, we're giving these second strings only what is unique to them.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. After clobbering Koopas, besting Bowser, and saving the princess, who gets all the credit?
Mario, of course, leaving his lanky brother with rejected sloppy seconds.
No doubt Luigi has it rough. Despite being born as one of the 7-star children destined for greatness, it's not easy being second fiddle to the most popular character in video game history. Yet, he doesn't seem to mind. Like a good sidekick, Luigi exists only to help Mario, never asking for his own slice of the cake.
So he's pretty much a slave.
In a way, but this devotion makes him the perfect teammate, helping to save the Mushroom Kingdom time and time again.
I'm surprised at that, but I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know if I thought he was older or younger. Definitely not younger. I guess I thought he was older. Did I? I don't know. He's 26. I'm 25. That's just too close to I don't know. I don't know.
What did Mario do to him to make him so obedient? He's gotta have some serious dirt from their childhood.
Luigi may take subordination to an extreme, but he's no pushover. In fact, he's not only taller than Mario, but also faster and more athletic. He can jump over 6 feet higher. Plus, after studying Yoshi's superb jumping ability, Luigi developed his own variant of the dinosaur's floating technique, the scuttle jump.
His abilities don't end with the mid-air hustle. Luigi has plenty of powerful attacks, each of which, if pulled off perfectly, increase their damage for quick KOs. The spinning Luigi Cyclone, the rocketing green missile, and the super jump punch, which can send his foe up into the air so high, they never come back down.
The tails can fly out of that. Oh. Maybe.
In addition, he has numerous power-ups at his disposal, including his trusty hammer and the Vanish Power Flower, which makes him invisible and intangible. Luigi could be next to you, watching you, right now.
Ah, stop that! He was trained by the Thunder God himself in the powerful Thunder Hand technique. With this, he can shoot lightning at his foes or at deadly soccer balls.
And after spending so much time in Mario's shadow, Luigi has somehow gained the ability to manipulate some sort of negative energy.
Bro, Luigi might be built different. I did not know all
running
this.
Around and jumping on turtles. Anyway, you were saying something about physics breaking time energy or whatever?
Luigi's negative zone can devastate a nearby opponent. Its effects are random, but unavoidable, ranging from sudden dizziness to uncontrollable tripping over absolutely nothing.
But when Luigi wants real firepower, he busts out the Poltergust 5000, a handy vacuum cleaner which can somehow kill ghosts. It can kill that which is already dead.
He ain't afraid of no ghosts. Scratch that, he's afraid of all ghosts. Bugs, water, flowers, the sun. Luigi is a coward and doesn't even try to hide it. Granted, his fears are usually justified. Usually.
He's also pretty clumsy, which you'd think would make a terrible combination. But like the Chinese drunken master style, Luigi harnesses awkwardness to make himself even more vicious. He's more powerful than he seems, murdering Goombas and Koopas by the hundreds every day. Before we go any further, I'd like to point out that the making cannon belongs to a bunch of children. Is it bedtime now, Mom? No more parents.
Even without it, Luigi has defeated Dimentio, discovered the grand final galaxy, raised a ravenous man-eating dinosaur, and even rescued Mario from certain doom on 3 separate occasions. The Green Thunder can pretty much do it all.
Luigi is one mean green fighting machine.
Yeah. I do it. Oh! Oopsie. Oh.
All systems go, full speed ahead.
Or the very very same day Dr. Eggman began his robot-powered takeover of the world, miles per hour.
I get it! Miles per hour! Creativity like that is why Sega's still making consoles.
Miles. I was told that his name's Miles per hour.
Miles was awkwardly born with 2 tails.
why
Mere
Sega's
minutes
still
after
making
being welcomed
consoles.
into the world, Eggman's deadly forces made Miles per hour an orphan.
Whoa, that's pretty fucked up.
8 years later, and after some much-needed counseling, Miles stumbled upon a broken-down biplane and happily repaired the whole vehicle on his own.
Well, of course, just like all walking, talking, adolescent two-tailed foxes can. Anyway, turns out the airplane happened to belong to Miles' personal idol, Sonic the Hedgehog.
What are you doing?
Why Sonic needed a plane in the first place is beyond me, but whatever.
It was Sonic who first suggested that Miles' birth defects could be used to fly by spinning like helicopter blades, which is obviously impossible as they can never create lift when just tangled together. What?
And so
Yeah, he
Sonic
can
gave
fly.
his rotary ass the oh-so-obvious nickname he deserved, Tails.
Well, that's stupid. That's like if you were named Boomstick because you just like shotguns.
Don't be fucking ridiculous, Wizard. Anyway, aside from flight, Tails' copter butt blades are strong enough to bust metal, and he can use them like the turbine of an engine to keep up with Sonic's super fast speeds. He can almost reach the speed of sound.
Tails pledged himself to
Very
Sonic's
fast.
freedom-fighting cause against Dr. Eggman, and the two quickly became friends, almost like brothers. They also shared a sort of teacher-student relationship, though it
Sonic
wasn't
what?
always clear who was the student.
It was Tails who invented the famous spin dash, not the Speedy Hedgehog.
I get the joke was he misspelled the word says, but that was one word. That was one letter away from something else.
Tails is a genius and a master mechanic.
He's so much smarter than Sonic that he actually learned how to swim.
He has built several planes and combat mechs and has numerous gadgets on hand, like the projectile ring, which can pull or latch onto objects, almost like a grappling hook.
But despite being a super geek, he really likes to blow shit up. He carries a huge supply of bombs. Big bombs, napalm bombs, remote bombs, flashbang grenades, bombs shaped like magic rings, bombs shaped like mice, bombs shaped like your mother, you name it. He's got a bomb like it.
He also wields the Magic Hand, a long-range comical punching weapon, and the Energy Ball arm cannon.
Which is ripped straight out of Mega Man. He built all this himself, but never a device to breathe underwater. Kinda dropped the ball there, sidekick.
Unlike Sonic's speed blitzing battle style, Tails relies on logic and tactics in a fight. His shield bot fortifies his defenses, and his Medibot heals wounds over time.
But he's a total wimp. He can't fly forever, and if Sonic's not around to hold his hand, he's scared of pretty much everything. After a good thunderclap, you'll find him shivering his spinny ass off in the bathtub.
Right, we should hurry. Ah! I'm afraid of lightning!
Well, he is only 11 years old, and the feats he's accomplished at his age are beyond impressive.
Yeah, we
Like being
got
able to run
26 versus 11. That's
100 miles
crazy.
per hour without his tails, stopping a nuclear missile,
Don't you
and
mean-
saving the
100 miles per hour.
multiverse by transforming into
Don't do steroids, kids.
Bruh.
to go or what, Tails?
Like the sandwich in Castle
I built
Crashers.
a TV out of paper clips.
Yeah,
And reprogrammed a supercomputer using dishwashing detergent and a toothpick.
I know.
So look, fixing a propeller on a biplane, that's about as difficult as taking a nap.
Okay, I didn't need your whole life story. A simple good to go would have been cool.
All right. Good to go!
Cool!
Alright, here we go. I'm not gonna lie. It happened in the Mario and Sonic one too, and it went my way. I'm a little less confident. I feel like Luigi though has some more stuff. I felt the same way with Mario, but I feel like I even less confident now. I feel weird switching, I guess. I don't want to second guess myself, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm still gonna say Tails pulls this off. I'm still gonna root for Tails, but Luigi, he might just pull this off.
Let's end this debate once and for all.
He has a lot,
Death battle!
and Tails is only 11.
Hey,
Sickle.
Yeah, see, he can fly out of that. That's what that one move does. Oh, he's helpful. Oh no. Oh, he's invisible. He's invisible. I thought he teleported out of that. Oh, he just smashed into the mallet thing. Oh! Ring bombs!
Ready.
Oh! Is that the poltergeist thing? Oh, he's gonna fire back. Oh, nah. Oh, they're coming back down! Oh! Oh, dang! I almost thought Tails had that one! Oh, no! Oh, no! He's getting... Oh, no! Oh, no. Oh, no. Tails. Oh, no. Oh, he just took his bot and just... Oh,
Hello?
Oh, he's he reprogrammed it. Oh no, this thing, I knew this was coming. Oh. So Tails did it. Let's go see. I'm glad I didn't switch. I'm glad I stuck. Okay, man. I don't know, the Mario Brothers. They got some good stuff, but they just can't beat the the Sonic characters. I'm sure if there's, I don't know if there's actual beef, but if there's like Mario fans that beef with Sonic, they probably hate these death battles.
Luigi.
That was a really good fight, though.
Technically has more combat experience and has survived being Nintendo's whipping boy. Tails' skills and arsenal were more than the green-capped plumber could handle.
His training with Sonic makes him faster, and his superior mobility gave him complete control over the battlefield.
Also, he has an outrageous IQ of 300, which is about as much as Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking combined.
Well, Tails is
Too
stronger,
smart.
too. He can move 10 tons while Luigi struggles to lift a large radish.
And Tails' gadgets more than make up for any of his weaknesses.
Yeah.
Looks like Luigi was outfoxed.
The winner is Miles Tails Prower.
GG's, Tails. GG's. Alright, pretty good one. Pretty good one. Alright, this next one is pretty interesting because it only comes from one franchise. And it was one that was featured already today. We got Pokemon Battle Royale, and by the looks of the thumbnail, it is the first ever 3 starter Pokemon final evolution. We got Charizard, Blastoise, and Bulbasaur. Now, when people ask me what my favorite Pokemon was, I honestly, I don't like the question because I feel very basic answering it, because my favorite Pokemon is Charmander. I like Charmander. Like I know that's a basic, maybe boring answer, but I can't. It's my favorite. I know there's like 1,000 Pokemon now, over 1,000, but I like Charmander. It's the OG. Loved him as a kid. Still like him. And of course Charizard, being the final evolution, I love the Pokemon as well. So as far as rooting for, of course, that's who I'm gonna pick. That's who I'm gonna pick. Charizard. It's hard to tell because of the rock paper scissors thing they got going on with who's who. Blastoise is better against Charizard, but not against Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur weak against Charizard, but yeah, it's hard to know who's gonna come on top. So. Yeah, I think Charizard's got this. I think the popularity is going to carry him in this movie. I don't know, listen, this is going to be pretty interesting.
For nearly 2 decades, people across the globe have struggled endlessly to make one crucial, exhausting, impossible choice.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander.
Charmander!
It's finally time to learn if the one you chose was really the strongest.
And what better way than with their evolved forms? Venusaur, the pimply plant monster, Blastoise, the bazooka turtle, and Charizard, the dragon.
For a fair assessment, we're examining maxed out wild Pokemon. For those of you nerdy enough to care, this means no special EV training, no Mega Evolutions, and no tutored, bred, or otherwise unnaturally learned attacks. This way, we'll avoid any and all player influence.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The first starter Pokemon evolves from Bulbasaur to Ivysaur and finally to Venusaur, the seed Pokemon.
Becoming uglier and uglier with every form. Seriously, what the hell is that thing?
Of the 3 starters, Venusaur is the most well-rounded and easiest to raise. In combat, it relies on its above-average special attack and special defense, or non-physical combat.
Old Froggy Plant has a variety of moves. Vine Whips for slapping bitches, and Razor Leaf can cut through whole trees. Then there's the less action-packed skills like Sleep Powder, which is used to put foes to sleep and take women home from bars.
Venusaur's adaptability is its greatest asset. It can absorb health with Leech Seed like some kind of jungle vampire, or simply heal on its own by using Synthesis. It also knows Sweet Scent, which aids the poor accuracy of the sleep and poison powders.
But why bother with poisons and powders when you've got a super laser? Venusaur can absorb so much sun energy that he can fire the solar beam. When I find flowers that can do that, I might actually take up gardening. Try and pollinate now, bees.
In real life, celestially powered lasers rely on heated magnesium combustion. In order to fire, the solar beam's temperature needs to be over 6,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Unfortunately, the solar beam is so powerful it takes twice as long to perform as any other attack. As a grass and poison type, Venusaur is extremely effective against water-type Pokemon.
But keep them away from flying and fire types, because as we all know, plants burn and birds fucking hate grass.
Yet, Venusaur's well-rounded skills and tricky moveset could outsmart the competition.
Venusaur, the final form of the Bulbasaur evolution. This seed Pokemon soaks up the sun's rays as a source of energy.
The second starter Pokemon evolved from Squirtle to Wartortle and finally to Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon.
So how did this thing come about? Did a turtle get really drunk one night and then came across a tank and was like, yeah, I'll put my dick in that? Then 9 months later, the tank showed up at his door and was like, boom, this is yours. And then he raised it out of shame until one day it evolved, and then all the other turtles were like, that's fucking awesome. So then they all started plowing tanks.
Sure, why not?
What a story.
Blastoise firmly boasts defense over offense, using his weighty bulk to outlast and overpower foes. Like a stone firm upon the shore, he can take wave after wave of punishment.
As poetic as that was, he won't be winning any marathons. He's almost as slow as a tortoise, which makes sense, unlike the giant gun sticking out of his back.
Blastoise can significantly reduce
Charizard
damage with
is
iron defense. barrel through hazards with rapid
Fast
spin,
with the
and guard against
flight,
any and
I
all
feel like.
attacks with protect.
He can chomp foes with bite and crack heads with skull bash, but most of his arsenal focuses on water power, blasting foes with water gun, water pulse, aqua tail, and bubbles.
But despite its lack in attack type diversity, Blastoise can maximize its watery weaponry with Rain Dance, a rainstorm that amplifies water type moves and blocks out the sun.
But his ultimate attack is Hydro Pump, where he blasts water out of his twin cannons with enough force to accurately punch through steel at a range of 160 feet.
High-pressure water jet cutters are used industrially to cut through metal with at least 55,000 psi, or pounds per square inch. By measuring Blastoise's cannons in comparison to his size, we can tell his Hydro Pump has a power of 90,000 psi.
That'll get the stains
Cool.
off your patio, along with your patio and possibly house.
Blastoise is effective against Fire-type Pokemon, but weak to Grass and Electric.
And when he's not battling, Blastoise can be found training on secluded islands to strengthen his combat skills.
If it plays its defenses right, Blastoise just might outlast everyone.
Blastoise's
got some
strength
defense.
lies in its power rather than its speed. Its shell is like armor, and attacks from the Hydro Cannon on its back are virtually unstoppable.
The final
right.
starter Pokemon
Yeah.
evolves from Charmander to Charmeleon and finally to Charizard,
Charizard.
the flame Pokemon.
I would so ride that into battle.
Well, that could be tough. A full-grown Charizard is only 5 foot 7 inches tall.
What? That's bullshit. I want to ride a dragon to burn the villages of my enemies, not hang out with it on the sofa.
Despite its size, Charizard is
They always look
extremely
so much
fast
bigger
and
in the,
extremely powerful.
shows.
Its speed and special attack eclipse the other two starters twice over. The trade-off being unfortunate frailty.
But since he can fly, it's pretty hard to get a hold of him.
Charizard's
I
moveset is
think that's
incredibly
gonna be a
diverse,
factor,
ranging from
honestly.
the obvious Fire Breath to flying, dragon, and even ghost type attacks.
At close range, he'll always have an edge up by using either Slash, Dragon Claw, or Shadow Claw. He can strike from above with Wing Attack or Air Slash, but his real strength lies in the flames. He'll burn and bite you with Fire Fang, trap you in a vortex of embers with Fire Spin, smash you apart with Flare Blitz,
At the cost of self-inflicted recoil damage.
and of course burn you to cinders with Flame Burst or Flamethrower.
Charizard can reportedly burn through solid stone. This means his flamethrower reaches temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice.
Charizards are aggressive and warrior-like, and will actively seek fights with stronger opponents.
The fire and flying type combination makes Charizard doubly effective against
So, hold
Stronger
on.
opponents.
They're 5'1". You're telling me like I'm all the way up here? If that's 5'1", like I'm like 5'8".
The fire and flying type combination makes Charizard doubly effective against grass Pokemon, but weak to water types. If it spends too much time in a heavy rainstorm, its flame will go out. Permanently.
But he's so fast and deadly, he might just overpower his enemies before they know what hit him.
Charizard, the flame Pokemon. When competing in intense battles, Charizard's flame becomes more intense as well.
Alright. So, after hearing this stuff, we know fire, strong against grass, weak against water. Water, strong against fire, weak against grass. Grass, weak against fire, strong against water. So, they got all, that's all evened out. The type matchup, that's all evened out. It depends on who fights who, I think. I think Charizard's flying ability and speed is going to be the edge. But the Blastoise defense, I think, could be something to look at as well, the way they were playing with it. I could see them going Blastoise, but I'm going to lock in that Charizard wins this, and that is who I'm rooting for. Let's go, Charizard.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this
Come
debate
on.
once and for all.
It's time for a death battle with the Pokemon.
They also mentioned, like, if Charizard's flame goes out, which I remember that. So they might have that be a thing. If Blastoise hits it. Mad rare candy.
Forward.
Oh, got the defense. Oh, go! Oh, get him! No, get him out! Look at him! Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're completely ignoring. But using the Blastoise. Oh, Charizard is going for the smoke early. Is focusing too much on Blastoise. It could have had Venusaur out with the type advantage. Now that the accuracy's up, Solar Beam is coming. Oh no, it's Sleep Powder. Oh, I think Blastoise is asleep, but Charizard. Oh yeah, no. Before he gets it off. Oh no. What just happened? They're like a desert now? Or did their moves get off the edge? Completely cut that off. The Venusaur is done. Venusaur is done. The type advantage, yeah. Where's Blastoise? Still snoozing. Hey, Charizard already got 1 KO. Come on, Charizard. Oh, yes. Fight! No! Oh, and he's gonna use the water cannon. No! Oh, nah. Why are we filling him up like a water balloon, bruh? I had a feeling they were gonna make Blastoise with the way. It just seemed like they were more that he had the edge in the what do you call the first part of this stuff, the overview analysis. Man. Well, I mean, this was a Battle Royale 1v1v1, and Charizard did get 1 KO. He tied the amount of KOs. I'm okay with it. Low key.
No! Oh, and Froggy planned whatever.
Charizard's greater speed allowed first attack, and its proud warrior mentality led to striking Blastoise first.
But Venusaur knew he had to take Charizard down right away, so everyone's favorite fire lizard was doomed, taking too much damage early on from 2 different angles.
But poor Venusaur didn't stand a chance against Charizard's dual typing, and the bulky defense of Blastoise was more than enough to outlast both of them. Also, since Charizard and Venusaur do not naturally learn Sunny Day, they could not counter the Rain Dance.
But Wizard, shouldn't they all just counter each other?
Yes, the rock, paper, scissors factor is a bit tricky. Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass. But ultimately, the core of any Pokemon battle boils down to mathematics. Every attack does a specific amount of damage with specific effects to specific types with a specific accuracy.
And each Pokemon's stats are clearly displayed in the good old Pokedex.
The math,
so,
the
by
science,
every move, effect,
crazy.
choice, order, and likeliness of occurrence, there are over 7,000 different possible ways this Battle Royale could play out. And out of all potential matches, Blastoise wins the majority.
Even when removing type effectiveness entirely and pitting attack and special attack against defense and special defense, factoring in health and speed,
almost half the time,
still takes it. Blastoise H2 owned.
The winner is Blastoise.
Blastoise, okay. I mean, 35%'s not terrible, but I'm surprised it's that 48 as a poor Venusaur for 17. I always thought, like, you know, Bulbasaur, Venusaur, they're like, you know, it's always when people talk about those stars, it's either like Squirtle and Blastoise or Charizard and Charmander. Like it's like the weaker link of the 3. Alright, this next one's a little bit newer, but it's also a little different going on the anime side of things. There wasn't too many anime ones that I have seen both sides of. There are some, but for the first one here, we have All Might versus Might Guy. We got My Hero versus Naruto. Oh, this is a tough one. As far as who I think is gonna win versus who it's because you get into some power scaling, and sometimes it's hard to tell. But if we're talking prime All Might, I think All Might has this. Cause if Guy, by the way, I'm gonna talk about stuff, so if you don't want spoilers for stuff, make sure you don't watch the ones that may spoil you. Like, I'm looking out for spoilers for myself, but make sure you also look out for spoilers for yourself. But if Might Guy opens the 8 inner gates like he did against Madara, if Naruto didn't just riz it, Might Guy was dead. Might Guy was dead. So I think that could definitely take out All Might, but it'd be a draw. And I think any other inner gates, I think Prime All Might All for One could, One for All could beat that. This is what I actually don't think. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily root for anyone, because I really like All Might. I really like Might Guy too. I don't know if I'm gonna root for anybody particular, but if I'm guessing who's gonna win, I'm gonna say All Might has it.
Happy holidays from Rooster Teeth. Go to the Rooster Teeth store.
Oh yeah, this is when they were with Rooster Teeth. R.I.P. Actually, no, they're back. Not R.I.P. anymore.
Let's be real. Superheroes with super strength are like rabbits. They're everywhere.
But when a hero uses that strength to inspire others, they truly stand out from the crowd.
Like All Might, the symbol of peace from My Hero Academia.
And Might Guy, master of ninja combat and bushy brows from Naruto.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Imagine a world where superpowers are common, so-called quirks, which can be trained at distinguished academies in hopes of becoming a superhero.
I know what you're thinking. If everyone's got a power, then no one is super, right? Except most quirks are really lame, like a balloon face or stretchy eyeballs. Ew.
Even then, there are some unlucky few who don't have any quirk at all. You may already know one of these quirkless, Izuku Midoriya. But before him, there came another, one who would change the world. His name is Toshinori Yagi.
Toshinori wasn't a pushover, though. Even without a superpower, he wanted to become the symbol of peace. And thanks to pro hero Nana Shimura, he found a way.
Shimura's quirk had the unique ability to be directly passed on to a new user, and she saw something special in Toshinori. And so, he became the next bearer of One for All.
An ultra-powerful quirk that let him become that symbol of peace with a never-ending smile on his face. All Might!
I am here!
Now a truly remarkable hero, All Might quickly rose through the local rankings. But fame wasn't the reward he sought. He legitimately just wanted to help people.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm caught up with My Hero, by the way, anime-wise, not manga-wise, but anime-wise, I've seen up until season 7, seen all of it. This was made prior to, I think, even like the manga season 7 stuff being maybe out. This was 5 years old. Seen all of Naruto, seen all of Shippuden. Haven't seen anything of Boruto, so hopefully they don't go too much into details with that, but...
Big old grin. That's not just for show. He keeps his smile up to make sure the people around him feel safe. And with his powers, why wouldn't they?
All Might can punch with enough force to change the weather, even creating a massive storm once.
It's raining. Holy crap. He changed the weather.
He can jump so high, people mistake him for flying. You might say they're taking a flying leap in logic.
But along with super strength, One for All includes powers like improved durability, stamina, and speed.
All Might has no problem taking huge hits and fighting villainy in the blink of an eye.
And thanks to his training at UA High School, All Might molded his quirk into an incredible fighting style.
With moves named after the United States? I thought this dude was Japanese.
Well, it's likely a nod to how the US essentially created the modern superhero, like Superman. America's got a sort of superhero monopoly going on.
If I had a quirk like that, I'd name my moves after food. California roll!
Oh my god, it worked!
Going for 2. Lobster roll!
Why
Anyway, there's a ton of different smashes in All Might's arsenal, covering all sorts of states and cities, from Nebraska to Detroit to the Carolinas.
And most of their names actually do describe their results to a certain extent. For example, his Texas and Oklahoma smashes both create variations of tornadoes.
And those 2 states are smack dab in the crossfire of real-life Tornado Alley. Coincidence? Probably not.
Of course, many of his attacks create targeted gusts of wind, but every smash does have its own unique form of delivery, such as how the Missouri smash is a karate chop, and the New Hampshire smash is a reverse attack meant to send All Might rocketing through the air.
But he's got one mega-sized move that goes beyond all that, or as he calls it, Plus Ultra, the United States of Smash! 'Cause I'm proud to be an American, at least I know I'm free. Oh, God, I love that move.
But he's Japanese.
America! God, United States of motherfucking Smash, yeah!
To determine the power of this epic blow, let's find the volume of the resulting whirlwind by comparing its size to the nearby buildings. Applying the standard height of 3 meters per floor, the whirlwind appears to be at least 2,200 meters tall, giving it a volume of over 10 billion cubic meters. To create a tornado that large, All Might's strike must have equaled a force of over 11,000 tons of TNT.
That's insane! He's got the power of an atomic bomb in his bare fist!
He's also fast enough to run down this stairway in less than half a second. A feat which, given the distance measured, means
crazy.
he can move 29 times faster than sound.
He's in the same league as the supervillain Gigantomachia, who blew up a mountain, and he punched this Nomu guy so hard, he pulled a Team Rocket. Looks like Nomu's blasting off again!
With so much power, All Might remained the #1 hero for years. Unfortunately, success doesn't last forever.
Yeah, he got into a fight that was a bit bigger than even he could handle, and got injured pretty bad.
So bad, in fact, it became difficult for him to use his powers, and drastically limited his full strength.
I wonder
But
if
hey,
they're
don't
gonna
worry,
do
for
this
Death Battle, we
the
look at each
battle,
character's peak performance across their whole life.
Okay.
Right, when fighting Nomu, All Might claimed that what he pulled off in 300 punches, he could have previously done with just 5.
Back in my heyday, 5 hits would have been enough to knock that guy out. But today it took more than 300 mighty blows.
Taken literally, this means All Might at his best was 60 times more powerful.
But even as a crippled old man, he held on to the #1 spot for a long time. Not because he was taking out more bad guys than the competition, but because he was just so goddamn heroic.
At least until he could find a new successor with a smile on his face. A shining example of what it means to be a true hero, just like himself.
Right, yeah, so if we're doing peak All Might, I do believe, Might Guy's pretty powerful too, but I just think One for All is a better power than the jutsu.
In Konohagakure, the village hidden in the leaves, ninja train to use the mysterious arts of ninjutsu and genjutsu.
It's basically ninja magic. Everything from shooting fireballs to messing with your brain.
But some ninja just aren't suited to these difficult techniques. During young Rock Lee's time at the academy, he feared his lacking in these arts meant he would never accomplish his dream of becoming a ninja.
And then he met the one, the only, the bushy Might Guy.
Hey, what's shaking? How you doing, everybody? Life treating you good?
Guy is one of the most respected and powerful ninja among the Hidden Leaf, but he
Among
certainly
Us.
didn't start out that way.
Yeah, he and his dad could never really make all that ninja magic work for them, so they decided to focus on the one thing they were good at, punching people.
This is Taijutsu, or the ninja art of hand-to-hand
thought
combat,
that just-
dedicating himself to this form over all
That name
else.
was slipping for me. I thought of it just when they said it, but yeah, I think Taijutsu is a little weaker than
Guy soon became a master in the Taijutsu style, Strong Fist.
Which translates to punching people really, really hard. It's a fighting style that is literally all about breaking bones. Yeah, I'll take that over ninja magic, thank you.
That's not to say Guy couldn't perform ninja magic. He's just not very skilled in it. At all.
Yeah, like a bunch of ninja can summon cool shit like tracking hounds or giant toads. Guy can summon a turtle. And that's about it.
But mastering the Strong Fist style is a testament to Guy's ability.
Only the toughest people in the world can use it at all. Otherwise, it's, super dangerous. That's the big thing with Guy's style. Because he's gotta make up for not having ninja magic, everything he does comes with a big risk. Especially his ultimate technique.
Right, Guy's father Might Dai was instrumental in helping him achieve the goal of becoming a, quote, splendid ninja. But he also taught him a skill which would prove to be both of their undoing. The 8 Gates.
Wait. Someone named their kid Might Die? What are you, just hedging your bets for the future?
I mean, Dai is dead.
Well, then I guess they called it.
The 8 Gates refer to the pathways within the human body which contain the flow of chakra, the life energy ninja use for their techniques.
And, to live.
To simplify, by opening each gate, Guy essentially removes inhibitors on his body, greatly increasing his power, speed, and capabilities.
The first few gates are kinda safe, unlocking 100% of the body's ability. The second one even heals you a bit, but once you get past number 4, things start getting real messy.
At this point, Guy suffers horrible pain and severe muscle tearing. While the power increase is certainly worth the risk in a difficult fight, it's likely to put the user in the hospital afterward.
After opening the 6th gate, he can move so fast his punches ignite the air around him, meaning he can shoot fireballs from his fists.
That would be the morning peacock technique. To ignite the hydrogen in the air, Guy must be swinging at speeds more than 40,000 kilometers per hour. That's over 5 times faster than the X-15 rocket jet, the fastest airplane in the modern world.
And once he opens the 7th gate, he can perform Daytime Tiger, where he throws a giant tiger's face at you. Hell yeah! This beautiful beast is strong enough to blow up an island. Awesome.
While opening the 7th gate would prove fatal for most ninja, Guy is strong enough and skilled enough to wield it without such concern. However, when it comes to the final gate, there is no going back.
With the 8th gate of death, Guy's power explodes. His blood boils, evaporating from his body. Yeah, if you thought that was some Super Saiyan energy aura around him there, think again. It's his blood burning through his skin. Hardcore. Gross, but hardcore.
In this mode, Guy can perform the speedy evening elephant technique. But his most impressive ability is, without a doubt, Night Guy.
Okay, Might Guy, Might Die, and Night Guy? Who's coming up with this shit?
This attack was powerful enough to decimate Madara, one of the deadliest villains in the Naruto universe.
Madara could take on Naruto, who had enough chakra to blow a hole through the moon. Sure, Night Guy's still not as powerful as Naruto once the kid goes all golden glowy, but it's definitely above Jiraiya's big ball Rasengan carving up a mountain, or Obito raising up a giant tree like a crazy reverse lumberjack.
Despite all this risk, Guy proved himself an equal to some of the greatest ninja of the Hidden Leaf, including his longtime rival Kakashi, who was fast enough to catch lightning from a distance. Measuring the space Kakashi had to cover here and the speed of lightning itself, he must have moved over 700,000 meters per second, more than 2,000 times faster than sound.
But in the end, even though he knew the 8th gate meant the ultimate sacrifice, he did it anyway like a boss to protect his friends. He did get lucky though, cause Ninja Jesus showed up to keep him alive. Good timing. No wonder he's always got a smile on his face.
But handicapped from then on, Guy's days of combat were finally over. At least for the time being. Still, even if this was to be his last mission, Guy had already found a worthy successor. A shining example of what it means to be a splendid ninja, just like himself.
Dynamic
All right. So yeah, mean, I really like Guy too. The 6th and 8 inner gates, that might be something, but I like I said, the 8 one's probably going to kill him too. The 6, I don't know. Everything, I think All Might can tank that maybe. I'm still gonna say All Might wins this,
we've run the
but
data through all possibilities.
I wouldn't be crazy surprised
you
if
can
my
get a
guy
superhero
wins
for
this.
yourself to protect your computer and online data.
He's reading my.
Don't worry, I am here.
So cool! The amazing costume, those bursting muscles, that magnificent hair. You must be a worthy opponent for an arm wrestling contest.
I accept your challenge.
I can't lose. I have the power of youth on my side.
You're inspiring, but no one can defeat the symbol of peace.
Alright, maybe Guy can take some of these punches.
Incredible! Let's take this up a notch.
Give me your best shot. I won't hold back. That's a promise.
I love the vibe of this fight.
Entry.
Nice trick. My turn. Texas. You can take a hit well, but what are you really made of?
Oh, he's got hit with the tree. Oh, man, Guy's not even opening any gates yet. This is just straight up taijutsu. Oh.
Splendid, but I'll show you exactly how hard I've worked. 6th Gate of Joy.
Oh, here we go, 6th Gate. Guess he did have some gates, so oh, yeah, I figured All Might could tank that. Yeah, All Might's just punching with the wind. Oh, the tiger.
Daytime tiger.
This is nothing for a hero like me.
All Might can just hold it back.
You wanted my best? Here it is. United States.
Oh, United States of Smash. Oh.
Never give up. 8th Gate of Death.
Oh no.
Open.
Oh, he's using it. Oh no, Guy. This might end in a draw.
Still more? Bring it on.
Charge!
Go beyond.
So true. Yeah, I see he got him, but he's gonna die.
Let's do it again.
So it is a draw.
KO!
Looks like All Might might not be all right.
Well, All Might was an incredibly powerful and
to
inspiring
Guy?
hero. But then again, the same could be said for Guy.
All Might was super strong with plenty of good training. Without his gates, Guy wouldn't have stood a chance.
Right, keep in mind that each of All Might's feats we covered were performed while he was in an injured state. So for this comparison, we multiplied each result by 60 as per All Might's own estimation of his power.
For example, remember how he was similar to Gigantomachia, who busted a hole through a freaking mountain?
By scaling the mountain to the pine trees beneath it, it's easy to deduce the blast necessary for this would be about 2.5 gigatons of TNT.
With the multiplier, that would be 150 gigatons in All Might's prime. That's 3,000 times stronger than the biggest nuke that's ever been set off.
But here's the thing, even with the multiplier, we know Guy was faster. And while they've both learned to fight a wide variety of opponents, Guy was trained all his life, and boasted a more versatile set of abilities and techniques.
So with that much speed and skill, Guy already had a pretty good advantage, so long as he could hit All Might harder than All Might could hit him. So to answer that, let's check their strongest attacks.
All Might's greatest known feat would be the moment his smash created a massive storm, one that extended beyond the horizon. By taking the average mass of a thunderstorm, which is huge, and the 10 seconds it took for All Might's smash to create it, this comes out to a little over 24 gigatons of TNT. In his prime, this punch would equal over 1,440 gigatons.
28,000 times stronger than the biggest nuke from just one punch! Holy hell!
Unfortunately, it's impossible to lock down a specific number in this way for Guy's strongest attack, Night Guy. However, we can scale him to similar characters we know to be at lesser levels. In this case, base form Naruto.
God damn, we can never get away from this little twerp, can we?
Well, Night Guy did serious damage to Madara, whom Naruto's normal abilities stood no chance against. Obviously, Naruto gains a lot more power when he accesses Sage Mode, Kurama's chakras, Six Paths powers, etc. But Night Guy is certainly more powerful than Naruto's base form at the end of the series.
You know that hole in the moon we mentioned? That was made by pulling all of Naruto's base chakra out of his body and blowing it up. And I mean all of it.
Most of his chakra has been siphoned off.
We've actually covered this before, and that blast was 480 petatons of TNT. What's a petaton, you ask? Well, it's a whole lot bigger than a gigaton, that's for sure.
Simply put, the gap in power put Guy several leagues above All Might. Also, Guy's superior speed ensured All Might couldn't avoid such a blow when it really mattered.
Like, you know, in a fight to the death. And yeah, Guy using the 8th gate means he'll die later, but he still won the battle before that would happen. And that's still a victory.
All Might was remarkably powerful and certainly a challenge for Guy.
If I knew that was going to be the case, I would have probably picked Guy. Because I did know that the 8th gate was like the strongest move out of all of them. But I thought that would at least be a draw. But I guess they are giving that to Guy. But I don't know. I guess that's up in the... I don't know. I don't know if I guess. I mean, he's still like won, but like he also died, so that's a lot. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. I guess I was sleeping on Guy's ability, maybe, or maybe I was overrating the quirk one for all, but. That was a good one, though. That was a good... I like that one. I'm happy. I like a Guy as well.
But with his gates open,
like,
Guy had the speed, versatility, and power to take him out for
Very
good.
interesting
It was a mighty
matchup.
tough battle for all, but All Might wasn't a match for one powerful guy.
The winner is Might Guy.
Might Guy wins. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It just took me a little bit longer to get through than I first anticipated. So it's a new day. But I still want to watch a few more with you guys here. The next one is we're going back to video games. One of these I've played pretty recently, but the other one I barely played. I played a little bit, but not too long. I really don't know if I'm ever really going to get into or not. And that one is going to be Skyrim versus Dark Souls. Dragonborn versus Chosen Dead. I just recently, maybe a year at this point. I don't actually think so quite yet, but beat Skyrim, Dark Souls. I played a little bit of Dark Souls 3 on stream one time as like a request. I got a little bit into it, a little bit, not really. So the lore of Dark Souls definitely is something that I'll need to really like build upon. Skyrim I know a little bit about. So for this, I'll definitely be rooting for the Dragonborn. Who do I think is going to win though? Man, I don't, because I'm kind of blind when it comes to the Dark Souls guy, so I'm a little worried that he's gonna have something crazy. Like this is like Doom in Chief, and like I just don't I just don't know the game of the opponent again. I'm gonna say Dark Souls. I'm gonna say Chosen Undead wins this one. You know, I could be wrong. I will be rooting for Skyrim in this one, but I don't know. It's a gut feeling.
This episode
gut
of Death Battle is
prediction.
sponsored by Brandon Yates. That's right, our Brandon Yates.
Brandon Yates. Shout out to Brandon Yates. I don't know who Brandon Yates is.
The Chosen Undead, the accursed god killer from Dark Souls.
The last Dragonborn, the dragon-slaying savior of Skyrim.
Resigned to captivity, these two demi-human heroes embraced their destinies and stared down the very gods themselves.
And devoured their friggin' souls!
Because these two lack specific canon arsenals and movesets due to being role-playing protagonists, for this death battle we're giving them everything they have and maxing out all of their stats.
Everything in that, okay.
Totally possible in-game if you're willing to grind. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Our story begins at the end. The great cities of old have collapsed. The heroes
Starting
are
with
dead
Dragonborn,
or mad, and the Golden Age
Dark
is
Souls.
over. Looking out upon their decaying kingdom, everyone would like nothing more than to lay down and die.
I should also mention that I'm not like the biggest Souls game fan. Like when I'm in the mood for a challenge, it's all right. But like, I don't know. It's just I rage too much. It gets too frustrating at a point.
That's the one thing they couldn't do.
The world has been gripped by the undead curse, turning anyone with a mysterious dark sign into mindless, violent hollows upon repeated soul-crushing deaths.
But there is a prophecy of a chosen undead who will journey to Lordran, the home of the gods, and save the world.
Rotting away in an asylum, all it took was an assist from an unlucky knight and a giant raven before one unlikely hero was ready to claw their way through their progenitor's forgotten homeland.
And it helps that as long as they can keep their sense of purpose, an undead will always resurrect at the nearest bonfire. Now, they might slowly lose their memories, their personality, and their sanity, but the curse gives them as much time as they need to get good.
Undead are unnaturally resilient, able to survive being impaled through the chest. They've been chewed, eaten, and digested by what I can only describe as a toilet demon. And they can have their souls torn from their very body, because undead humans don't need their souls to survive.
Just pop some of that spicy Sunny D, and they're good to go. If anything, it seems like they get off to it. And speaking of souls, taking it
Oh, right.
fallen enemies to increase their power.
They're a master with swords, hammers, spears, axes, bows, you name it. And that's without any formal training. With the right stats and setup, they can be anything from a cartwheeling assassin to a dragon-smashing tank.
To the giantest
The
of
barrel
titans.
rolls.
And despite the serious gothic themes of the series, these weapons can get anime as hell. Smo's great hammer is a ginormous mallet the size of a sedan.
Based on its size and likely bronze composition, it'd have to weigh over 100 tons. A lot like Goff's great bow, which can shoot pillar-sized arrows and one-shot dragons out of the sky.
Or my favorite, the Moonlight Greatsword, produced from the ass of the albino dragon and founder of sorcery, Seath the Scaleless. This baby's a universe-hopping anomaly that can fire powerful sword beams and just look.
That is a pretty cool
The
sword.
chosen undead has learned magic from the greatest practitioners in the world. They can create shockwaves, form defensive barriers, reflect damage, throw balls of flame, control minds, fire magical crystal spears, turn invisible, and toss bolts of sunlight strong enough
That's
to
quite
stone
the
scales
arsenal.
off a mortal dragon.
Oh,
But I don't know, Dragonborn has some things too, especially if we're talking max battle.
All magic in the vicinity with the miracle vow of silence,
preventing anyone from speaking any spells aloud, including themselves. With this incredible arsenal and judicious attention paid to the stamina bar, the chosen undead was rolling their way to victory.
A roll so powerful it bends the laws of space and warps them through attacks like they weren't even there. Though sometimes
Just
it
keep
doesn't work
rolling.
and it's bullshit.
That's just a game mechanic, but great to use when you're panicking.
They've defeated Nido, the god of death, the bed of chaos, the mother of all demon kind, and Calamite, the strongest surviving ancient dragon.
There was one early boss. There was like a tree in Dark Souls. That took me so long, like Dark Souls 3.
That was when the chosen undead was dragged back in time to face the fallen knight Artorias, the greatest warrior in history. And not only defeat him, but accomplish the greatest feat attributed to Artorias' legend, the destruction of Manus, the father of the abyss that threatened to consume the world.
They've even beaten other chosen undead from alternate worlds, like the best buddy in all gaming, Solaire. Praise the sun, bro! And soon they were approached by these two slithery freaks. One said
What
to
is
link the
that?
fire, and the other said to let it die out, which totally makes sense. Wiz can explain it.
Don't look at me. Dark Souls lore is as notoriously convoluted as the flow of its time stream, which is why we have a true expert in the realms of nerdom to explain it for us. Oh, Jocelyn.
You wouldn't believe how many item descriptions, forum posts, and moody 2013 lore videos I had to watch through for this. It's story time, kids. In the beginning, the world was unformed and static. Then suddenly, the first flame burst to life. And with it, the concepts of heat and cold, life and death, energy and time, light and dark.
Sounds like a mythological Big Bang.
The gods were granted immensely powerful souls from the first flame, but their greatest fear was the soul possessed collectively by the race known as humanity, the Dark Soul. The Skyfather Gwyn feared humanity's immortality, and so sealed their dark souls within them. But as humanity reproduced, the Dark Soul collectively grew and the first flame waned. Turns out humans were naturally undying, or, according to the gods' propaganda, undead.
Yes, it's all a conspiracy. The undead curse was a lie!
Linking the fire means using your very soul as fuel to keep the first flame burning. If an undead champion believes their immortality is a curse, they'll do anything to prevent it, including burning fragments of the Dark Soul to keep the Age of the Gods going.
So you're a pawn in a game played by decrepit gods desperately clinging to power. Well, that's a huge bummer.
They might look like a depressed California raisin, but in order to link the flame, their soul needs to be strong enough to maintain the whole universe and the flow of time for another 1,000 years.
Other similarly powerful undead across time are swift enough to dodge lightning and even light itself. Based on their dodge compared to this beam and the time it took to reach them, they'd be reacting and moving at over 20% the speed of light.
At the end of their quest, they faced down and defeated Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, long hollowed from linking the flame 1,000 years ago. So, which will you choose? Link the fire and prolong the current age, or let it fade until only dark remains?
This is the biggest bummer of them all. Truth is, it never mattered. The cycle just continues age after age, with new heroes replacing the old ones, until the chosen undead was long forgotten.
Until the infinite march of time ground the world to ash. It was never about the happy ending. It didn't exist. It was about the struggle to get there. That's ultimately what gives us meaning.
Yo, lore of some of these games are crazy. But yeah, okay, so yeah, Dark Souls Chosen Undead, you know, pretty powerful, I think. That was the only one I really. Thinking about what they could say for Dragonborn here, there could be a lot here. This is a good matchup, though. I'm interested to see what
This
they
episode of
decide
Death
here.
Battle is sponsored by Brandon.
That's right, Boomstick. Dive into the thrilling world of versus music with Brandon Yates as he brings hypothetical matchups to life through his commissioned compositions.
Brandon is one of the composers behind Death Battle, bringing us the incredible show-stopping songs you know and love. Seriously, we love this guy.
Hollow Dreams, Princes of Pride, Hedge of Tomorrow, and some of our all-time greats. In fact, he composed the track for this very episode.
We'd love it if you supported Brandon's work and enjoyed more of his music by subscribing to his channel and following him on Spotify.
Ever had a matchup you just want to see on the show and you just wish you had the music track for it?
Well, fans of Death Battle have been loving Brandon's music for years, all commissioned by fans like you.
We're talking hundreds of commissioned songs, all for hypothetical episodes of Death Battle.
Everything from hard rock to jazzy to electronic to orchestral choirs.
And because Brandon is literally one of the main composers of this show, every track he makes sounds straight out of Death Battle itself.
Love the music from Death Battle? Then don't wait. Subscribe to Brandon Yates' YouTube and follow him on Spotify right away. Hey, you! You're finally awake! Welcome to the Frosty Viking Paradise of Skyrim. Visit the quaint Nordic villages. Hike up to the throne of the world. Marvel at the beauty of Blackreach. Hey, what's that in the sky? Why, it's Macho Man Randy Savage! Whoa, it's Thomas the Tank Engine!
Yeah, mods are crazy.
But not just any mere Drake. This is Alduin, the World Eater, and he's come to burn everything to a cinder.
But fortunately for you, his path of destruction happened to interrupt your impending execution at the hands of those uppity Imperial pigs. That'll be the worst mistake this Staley monster would ever make.
It wouldn't be long before you escaped the destruction of Helgen and defeated a dragon yourself.
Then absorbed its freaking soul!
That could only mean one thing. You are a being born with the blood and soul of a dragon in the body of a Nord, or elf, or Khajiit, or lizard dude destined to battle.
I chose the lizard dude.
Save the world.
In their tongue, you are the Dovahkiin, Dragonborn!
In their quest to rid Tamriel of Alduin's dragon army, the Dragonborn became a jack of all trades, master of all.
They learned to be a master assassin with the Dark Brotherhood, a master sorcerer with the College of Winterhold, a master thief with the Nightingales, a master dragon hunter with the Blades, and a master good boy. Who's a good boy? That's a good boy.
They even fought in the Skyrim Civil War on the side of the Imperial Legion, champions of order.
You mean the Nordic War for Independence on the side of the Stormcloaks?
Yeah.
Those elf-funded Nord supremacists?
Better than those jackbooted Cyrodiil fascists? But what else could I expect from a monster who steals from innocent villagers by sticking buckets over their heads?
They can put their skills to good use with an absolute glut of weaponry. Not just the usuals like daggers, swords, hammers, and axes, but also special weapons given to them by the Daedric princes.
They're basically crazy powerful gods from the plane of existence called Oblivion. From that wascally wabbit Sheogorath, the Dragonborn received the Wabbajack, a staff that casts a completely random spell on its target, from disintegrating them to healing them to turning them into a chicken.
From Meridia, they received the Dawnbreaker, a holy sword made for burning the undead to ash. That's similar to Oriel's bow, which can shoot fiery arrows that can blot out the sun. To cover the distance between the Earth and the Sun in about 2 seconds, the arrow would have to be moving at over 250 times the speed of light.
Except this isn't Earth and the Sun. This is the planet Nirn, and that's Magnus. According to the Elder Scrolls lore master Michael Kirkbride and his in-universe text cosmology, when you look up at the Sun, you're actually looking into a dimension of pure magic. Confused yet? I am.
Exact measurements here are difficult to make, but if anything, the distance should be much greater.
Speaking of magic bullshit, the Dragonborn can heal themselves, cast wards and destructive elemental spells, control minds, conjure weapons, and summon lesser Daedra to help them out in a scrap.
They're an especially powerful mage because their mana recovers itself automatically over time. They'll never truly run out of firepower. But as a Dovahkiin, the ability they're most famous for is the Thum, or shout. By speaking the words of the dragon language, they can manifest their will into reality.
Like with the classic Fus Roda, an unrelenting force which can knock your neighbors into next week, or Soul Tear, which removes the soul from your enemy's body and stores it in a cute gem, like so. Reba Soul! Wait, why didn't anything? Oh.
Student loans, man. Something had to cover the down payment. With these shouts, the Dragonborn can summon country-spanning storms, slow down time, and even call upon a dragon for help. Odahviing. dragons may look like scaly reptiles, but in reality, they're immortal demigods older than time itself. They're the children of the chief god of Tamriel's pantheon.
The Dragonborn is an unstoppable force of nature. If they happen to take any damage, they can just drink a potion or nosh on a cheese wheel and be good to do. And they can carry up to 150 cheeses at one stream.
Assuming these abnormally large cheese wheels have an average weight of 70 pounds, we can determine that the Dragonborn can carry up to 10,000.
Yeah, nah, I was sleeping. I'm switching out. Dragonborn's got this. That's my prediction too. That's not only who I'm rooting for, but that's my prediction too.
They can match muscles with giants who are so strong they can shatter the game's spaghetti code to pieces.
It just sounds stronger, to be honest.
Vampire Lord Harkon ended Skyrim's civil war and defeated the first Dragonborn, Miraak.
And according to the book, The Guardian and the Traitor, Miraak was powerful enough to tear apart the island of Solstheim from Skyrim's mainland.
By comparing the size of various countries on Tamriel's map, we can determine that Solstheim is a landmass nearly 1,500 miles in diameter. In order to move that much land over the course of their fight, Miraak's magical prowess must have output an energy over 300 teratons of TNT.
That's 3 times the impact of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Wow.
Not too crazy when shouts can get strong enough to shake the world itself.
It wasn't long before the Dragonborn confronted Alduin in Nord Heaven and put an end to the World Eater once and for all.
The epithet is literal. By absorbing the souls in Skyrim's afterlife, Alduin was powerful enough to devour everything. Not just the planet of Nirn, but the Kalpa, the entire timeline past, present, and future.
That's the level of unimaginable power the Dragonborn is dealing with here.
Tamriel is no stranger to great heroes across its vast, sprawling history. The Nerevarine, the hero of Kvatch, all magnificent in their own right.
But when you heard that shout echo through the mountains and the death throes of a dragon defeated, you knew it could only be the Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin.
Yo, that's fire. All right.
Hey, Wiz, did you know that I can blow up a galaxy?
What? How?
I signed up for a Death Battle YouTube membership by clicking the join button on any Death Battle video or the YouTube channel. You can pick from 3 different tiers full of extra goodies. Base form champions get special badges, emojis, live chats, and the Death Battle Discord.
Right, if you go with planet level, you can watch all sorts of exclusive videos and see Death Battle before anyone else.
Then there's Galaxy level, which nets you all of that, a whole Rooster Teeth first membership, and the power of ultimate destruction!
Can't confirm or deny that last part, but it sure sounds impressive.
What are you waiting for? Join now to become a champion.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time.
I'm going Dragonborn.
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead.
Oh, they just blocked it. Ooh. Alright, come on. Just start off with sword and shield combat. Don't let him get potions going though. Don't let him get spells. Oh no, he's barrel rolling. Oh, the hammer. Oh. You didn't carry all those cheeses for nothing. Oh yeah, the bow. That one can get the sun. Right? Oh, he got the soul. But he comes back from the fire. Ooh. Oh, calling a dragon. Yeah. Oh no! technically he already like won twice, but this guy can just respawn. Ooh. Oh, Dawnbreaker. Oh yeah, Dawnbreaker would murk him if he's undead. Yo, this one's pretty sick. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Cut the sound. Oh! Oh! Dump! Oh no! Ooh!
Prepare to die.
Boom! Yes! Oh!
Save this world, chosen warrior! Bring the fire!
No! The wind! Oh, put out the flame?
Let true dark be cast upon the world.
He won?
Our Lord hath returned.
Who's laughing?
You die!
Oh my god!
Oh, you died!
This is bullshit!
This debate was fascinating. The Dragonborn had a wider variety of training, better access to summons, and magic that passively regenerated, as opposed to the chosen undead's limited pool of magic.
Vow of Silence was a slick counter to the Dragonborn's magic and shouts, but it wouldn't last forever.
The Dragonborn was significantly faster, too. The chosen undead could dodge beams of light, sure, but Oriel's bow could fire arrows that move at least 250 times that.
But none of that mattered if the chosen undead couldn't stay dead.
Dark Souls fans are probably not happy with this one.
There would be an easy solution, but the undead of Dark Souls aren't really the same as Draugr from Skyrim.
Skyrim undead are more like those classic reanimated skeletons.
Okay.
But remember the conspiracy. Humans in Dark Souls are naturally immortal. They're not actually undead.
Soul Tear wouldn't have been much use either, considering humans in Dark Souls can have their souls removed without dying.
So why didn't the chosen undead just keep coming back until they eventually won? Like with any Dark Souls boss.
One word, power. The Dragonborn had way more and greater feats of raw power than the chosen undead.
Oh yeah, like summoning country-spanning storms with a single shout, or defeating Mirak, who split a continent.
There's also the lore. Both characters are essentially mythological demigods in the same kind of vein as Hercules or Sun Wukong. Gameplay alone won't give you the best idea of their full power as characters.
So let's get an idea of their max potential from
It'd be like
the
that,
lore.
The chosen undead sustaining the first flame with their soul was insanely impressive. Considering the first flame is responsible for the core concepts of the universe, like energy and time, it's not a stretch to say it affects not just the planet they live on, but the whole universe.
But that's nothing compared to the power levels in the Elder Scrolls.
Let's compare the first flame to Alduin. Both literally run on the power of souls, and both can be directly scaled to our combatants.
Alduin had strength to consume the universe, not just Nirn, but the Kalpa as well.
You know those planets you see in the sky? According to cosmology, those are actually separate, infinitely big planes of reality. Alduin was going to eat infinity. Multiple infinities.
In comparison, the first flame is powerful enough to sustain a universe and the flow of time. But it can't be infinite, otherwise it never would have faded to begin with.
And that meant the chosen undead just wasn't powerful enough no matter how many times they revived. With that much of a difference in power, the chosen undead would eventually lose their will to fight and go hollow. It's not traditional, but it is a form of death in Dark Souls. The chosen undead was surely tenacity personified, but still wasn't enough to stand up to the Dragonborn's incredible skill, broken arsenal, and overwhelming power.
The chosen undead could only last so long before they flamed out.
The winner is the
Dragonborn. Let's go. W switch from me. W switch. Yeah, when they were going over the stuff, it just seemed like Dragonborn was way stronger. At the beginning, like I said, I was just gut feeling that the Dragonborn had some like crazy lore to it, but I guess that's just like Doom versus Chief PTSD, or just sometimes the gut's not always right. But yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm like the biggest Skyrim fan because I just got into it, like as opposed to someone. But I'm definitely at this point a Skyrim fan, I'd say. So I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. Very interesting death battle. This next one is one that like I like both of these characters, so this one's gonna be hard. And this one is Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Kakashi. Star Wars versus Naruto. I really love Star Wars as a kid. You know, I played Battlefront. I played the Lego game. I watched the prequels. I watched all the movies. I watched the Clone Wars. And, I was just a big fan of Star Wars. Now, I still like Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but like I'm just so behind in all they're making so many shows. Like there's Andor, there's the Book of Boba Fett, there's all these like even animated ones live. I just can't keep up anymore. I got a little bit behind now. I'm like super behind. So I don't know, but I always like Star Wars. OG Star Wars will always have a special place. However, I love Naruto now as well. Kakashi, man, Kakashi's tough. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily root for anybody here. Because I just like both characters. Maybe root for Kakashi a little bit. Because I think Obi-Wan might have this one. Just the Force mixed with a lightsaber to me just against ninjutsu is just like kind of tough. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get this one. I'm actually pretty excited for this one.
Heroes come in many different forms. Some are heroic protectors of justice, and others are the teachers who guide us toward a brighter future.
And sometimes they're both, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Jedi Master of the Galactic Republic from Star Wars.
And Kakashi Hatake, the 6th Hokage of the Hidden Leaf and mentor to Naruto.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. On the distant planet of Tatooine lived an elderly hermit known as Old Ben. His heart heavy with regret and stories to tell.
'Cause he wasn't just some crazy old coot. He used to be a badass samurai space wizard.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. I love a good Obi-Wan liner.
Hello there. As a child, Kenobi was inducted into the Jedi Order, warrior monks training in the Force over the course of their lives.
And he was trained by the one and only Liam Neeson. Well, until he was murdered by Space Satan.
Though not before they discovered a child of prophecy in Obi-Wan's future pupil, Anakin Skywalker.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Eventually, Kenobi rose to the top ranks of the Order, becoming a Jedi Master. Just in time for 2 back-to-back galactic wars.
Sounds like fun when you've got his classic lightsaber, which can cut through basically anything with enough force. Get it?
Including the duranium armor of General Grievous, which can take volleys from starfighter cannons.
It's an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. Because, mutilating and decapitating people left and right is way more honorable.
Kenobi has studied 7 forms of lightsaber combat, and is the undisputed master of Form 3, Soresu.
Which is all about defense and waiting for your opponent to make a mistake to land a finishing blow. He's so skilled, he can beat Sith Lords in just seconds.
But Kenobi's most powerful weapon, or better put, ally, is the Force, an energy that exists almost everywhere. Jedi can tap into the Force to manipulate the world around them.
Like throwing stuff around with telekinesis. Everything from pulling down an airship to crushing someone else's organs.
While Kenobi prefers a more direct dueling approach, his power in the Force is nothing to scoff at. Many years after his time, he was explicitly compared to Jedi Knight Kip Duron, who could move a micro-singularity with a thought.
Speaking of thoughts, he can mess with yours with the Jedi mind trick. Like if he wanted to, he could get jizz stuck in your head.
Boomstick, gross!
What? It's a type of music. Those aliens at Jabba's palace were playing it. They're called jizz whalers.
Huh.
I bet Disney was real happy to learn about that one. Kenobi's Force abilities also include protective fields, illusions, and Tuda Minus, a technique for absorbing and redirecting energy.
There's another
attacks.
case of the internet ruining terms, probably from like the past. Like, remember when a goon was like a thug?
Even without a lightsaber. Oh, also, he can see the future.
To a certain extent, Jedi can glimpse the distant future through focused meditation. In battle, the Force can guide their movements, predicting danger in advance.
Kinda like a space spidey sense.
Exactly. With their incredible skill in the Force, Kenobi and Skywalker became a formidable duo.
Obi-Wan ranked up even more and became a general. He's a badass space pilot who can dogfight at near light speed.
According to an official novel, he can even react down to the nanosecond.
I don't know, Wiz. I've seen the movies, and Jedi have never done shit like that.
Well, other mediums have greatly expanded upon Jedi capabilities. Some are even powerful enough to hold together entire planets.
Obi-Wan has fought an army while blindfolded, endured a blast from a starfighter, and battled the Sith, Darth Vader. That's when he had to break out his most OP move of all, the high ground. By standing just a few feet above an opponent, Obi-Wan gains enormous extra powerfulness. He even warns you about it.
Server Anakin, I have the high ground.
It's foolproof.
Not exactly. Remember how Darth Maul had the high ground way back when? Against Obi-Wan himself?
Where do you think he learned such an awesome move? Only Sith Satan could think of something so deadly.
Uh-huh. Either way, Obi-Wan sadly failed where it mattered most.
Ooh, that's definitely gonna be an F on the old Jedi report card. See me after class for an epic boss battle on a lava planet.
But defeating his fallen student is no small feat. Anakin could telekinetically move starships fast enough to intercept hypersonic missiles. Based on the scale of this dreadnought and the distance it moved, this would need an energy over 21 megatons of TNT.
And that was when he was a newbie. He basically became the most powerful Jedi and Sith in Space Wizard history.
However, Kenobi is extremely dedicated to his strict Jedi code, potentially to a fault. It's debatable if he ever learned from this mistake. After all, he told Luke Skywalker that the only way to ever become a Jedi would be to kill his own father. And he even tried to trick him into never figuring out that fact in the first place.
Dick move, Obi. Dick move.
But even in his worst moments, Obi-Wan Kenobi always fought for the sake of others. He would battle his dark apprentice one last time, sacrificing his life in service of a new hope.
And then he became a ghost!
Don't ruin the moment.
Strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Alright.
Shinobi.
Kakashi time.
Mentor. Friend.
And porn addict.
Kakashi Hatake is all of these, and generally a pretty relaxed guy for someone raised as a ninja assassin.
You wouldn't know it at first glance that his childhood sucked balls. Like when his dad committed seppuku because he saved his friends instead of prioritizing a mission.
In the shadow of disgrace, this cruel methodology of the ninja and his father's great mistake tore young Kakashi apart.
Reminds me of my dad.
What was his great mistake?
He called it boomstick.
Oh. Despite his hardship, Kakashi proved himself a prodigy, becoming a Genin at age 5, a Chunin at age 6, and a Jonin at age 12.
For those of us who don't speak anime, he might as well have been doing ninja rocket science in the womb.
He quickly mastered the use of chakra, a form of spiritual energy within all individuals that ninja can shape and weaponize. This is ninjutsu.
He can walk up walls, heal wounds, and even make clones of himself. Plus, he's a master of taijutsu, aka punching people. But his deadliest technique of all is the 1,000 years of death!
The village secret finger jutsu! 1,000 years of death!
Oh, that's gonna get you on a list. Naruto's like 12.
Chakra can also be molded into nature itself, and Kakashi can use it for numerous elemental attacks.
Sure, he can shoot fireballs or dunk you with water, but his favorite is lightning. Lightning zaps, lightning clones, lightning
Chidori.
dogs. That's awesome. How do I get one of those?
He's even invented a lightning ninjutsu technique, the Chidori. By gathering electric chakra into his hand or a kunai, he becomes capable of piercing just about anything.
Even a bolt of actual lightning. Take that, nature! Man triumphs over you once again.
This is where Kakashi's own Chidori got its moniker, Raikiri, Lightning Cutter.
Ooh, now I know what I'm gonna name my lightning dog.
The Chidori does have a downside though. Its speed and power are so great they give the user tunnel vision and make the attack generally uncontrollable.
Basically, once you kick on the gas, you're zooming straight ahead, no matter what happens. Although, Kakashi eyed just the thing to fix it.
Long story short, he was drafted into a war alongside his friends Rin and Obito.
Shit went down and Kakashi lost an eye, so Obito handed over one of his when he decided to sacrifice his life. Holy shit! Why don't I have any friends like that? Wiz, give me your eye.
No.
I'll give it back, I promise.
Obito's eye wasn't an ordinary eye. He was an Uchiha, and this was a Sharingan.
With his Sharingan, Kakashi not only got some control over his Chidori, but he can see a person's chakra, predict their movements, dupe your brain with genjutsu, and even copy jutsu techniques. He's such a filthy plagiarist that he's stolen over 1,000 jutsus in 14 years.
Although since Kakashi is not an Uchiha, he can't exactly turn the Sharingan off.
And then Rin jumped in front of his Raikiri and kicked the bucket too. Man, this guy can't catch a break.
And yet, unimaginable loss is exactly what is needed to unlock the Sharingan's next stage, the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Oh yeah! With the Mankey Eye, he can cast Kamui, basically sucking objects or people into another dimension. Sure, it uses up a lot of his chakra pool, but it's a pretty clever instant win move.
The concept
that
of
might be the Kamui might be something.
So, I've stolen Boomstick's entire beer hoard and placed it in a secure room with 200 tons of TNT.
Wait, what? Oh! You monster! What have you done?
Do you feel anything?
Just thirsty, sober, and punchy.
Punchy?
Next round's on Wiz. Well, for Kakashi, everything sort of worked out in the end. He became a teacher, and this new generation of ninja helped him learn that his dad was right all along. Friends do come first, unless they blow up all your beer. Wake up!
He's held his own against top-tier ninja like Zabuza, Pain, and even his old friend Obito.
Back from the dead and evil now, because why not? Kakashi can definitely compare to fellow ninja master Jiraiya, who can blow up mountains. That takes over 18 megatons of TNT.
And he's caught and sliced lightning. Based on the distance it moved before he caught it, he must have reacted within 70 microseconds and moved over 2,000 times the speed of sound.
Sounds like ninja president material to me. Not too shabby for a guy who likes to read porn in public. Did I forget to mention that? Because he totally does.
Kakashi of the Sharingan is nothing if not full of surprises.
Right now, all I can give you is just death.
Alright. So yeah, they definitely did Kakashi justice and Obi-Wan. So we got Kakashi versus Obito. Now it's Kakashi versus Obi-Wan. Kakashi versus Obito, honestly, is one of like my favorite fights in all of Naruto. Like that, it was a quicker one, but man, it was just like pound for pound. It was a goated one. Yeah, I'm sticking. I think Obi-Wan's got this. The Force is just too. Yeah, I think it's just too OP for this and the lightsaber. So yeah, but hopefully they do Kakashi at least a little bit of justice here, make this fight cool.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, you know what's the best friend for teachers like these two? Beer! This episode of Death Battle is super special because
they got sponsored by Miller Lite.
It's tough connecting with friends while we're all stuck at home, but as the original light beer, Miller Lite has always been there to bring people together through Miller time. Even now.
Take it from me, every day's a good day to bust out a can of old school Miller. We all know there's nothing better than cracking open a few cold ones with your pals. But even when an evil virus is trying to take over the world, having a Miller Lite next to you easily makes every day that much better.
Miller Lite tastes great and is less filling than other beers. Therefore, it won't get in the way of enjoying time with other people,
4th.
including webcam calls.
Yeah, pretty handy for a lightweight like you, huh, Wiz?
Definitely. Wait, what?
And let's be real, what else is gonna fuel these crazy versus debates?
Miller Lite, the original light beer. While you're home, enjoy a classic. Available for delivery today. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
So grab one for yourself, because right now it's time for a death battle!
Here we go.
Another happy landing. Huh?
Hello there.
General
Hold it.
Kenobi.
You're in Konoha territory.
Oh.
I have some questions.
He didn't pass the vibe check.
If you'll come with me.
You want to go home and keep reading your book?
I want to go home and keep reading my book. After I kick your ass!
Kunai never do anything in Naruto. They're not gonna do anything to a Jedi. Oh. Rip R4. Ooh. Now, these animations are fire.
Well now, you've fallen for the deadliest stratagem we ninja know. 1,000 years of death.
Oh, don't try it. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground.
I guess I have the high ground.
Oh, I don't think so.
Most impressive. But I see you.
Sharingan. Oh, oh, he's getting some punches. Oh, Chidori. Oh, there's the force.
Fire style.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, he got caught in the Sharingan. Genjutsu. Oh, Vader.
Be mindful of your thoughts, Obi-Wan. They betray you.
Oh, Chidori. Oh, man. He just got a Genjutsu. Dang, the Chidori kunai's pulling up a fire against the lightsaber. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh. It was a lightning clone. Oh, now Kamui.
Don't give up.
Trust in the Force.
Ah, man, the lightsaber. What did I say? The lightsaber in the Force.
Uncivilized.
KO!
Lightsabing the Force is
may
too
have been
much.
able to beat Obi too, but he just couldn't handle Obi-Wan. Get him.
Kakashi's wide array of moves certainly kept Kenobi on his toes, but the Jedi's arsenal was far more powerful and versatile than you might think.
Yeah, like how chakra is an internal life energy with a limited supply, but the Force is external and everywhere. Obi-Wan couldn't exactly run out of it, and Kakashi couldn't copy Force techniques. Because, I mean, he's using external force, not internal chakra. Totally different.
As for brute power, ninja mountain busting and Anakin's dreadnought telekinesis were fairly comparable. However, Kenobi matched Anakin's force power well after he had become far stronger than that.
This is the chosen one we're talking about here. Other Jedi have done some crazy stuff, like throwing a fleet of Star Destroyers out of a solar system in seconds and stopping a whole planet from going kaboom. Oh, and you know how Obi-Wan tore apart Grievous's armor with his bare hands in Revenge of the Sith?
The same armor designed to survive starship cannons.
Oh,
it
yeah.
withstood a blast that annihilated a subterranean city and almost collapsed the surface of a planet.
I seriously doubt Obi is physically strong enough to rip that armor apart, but apparently the Force is.
Even Kamui wasn't a reliable option, since Kenobi's reaction speed was nearly 70,000 times faster than Kakashi's. More than quick enough to avoid Kamui, especially with his precognition.
But we can hear you shouting in the back. What about Kakashi's dual Mangekyo Sharingan that Obito gave him?
He got that
Perfect
for like 2
Susanoo.
seconds.
It's difficult to justify granting those to Kakashi at all, because they aren't really his. He could only use them when Obito's spirit briefly possessed his body.
Even if he did, the results probably wouldn't change much. Remember that Kip guy who moved a black hole?
Listen, I love Naruto, but I think they got this one right. I love Kakashi's even like my favorite character in Naruto, I think. I think they got this one.
This means Kenobi could theoretically call upon the Force to exert nearly 14 petatons of TNT.
Way more than what Kakashi was packing. And even then, Obi-Wan could just crush his organs. Shit, man, don't mess around with Jedi.
I know it can seem strange to hear about Jedi being this powerful and deadly, but think of it this way. Part of the reason why the Jedi Code is so strict is because of this immense power at their fingertips. The Code tries to keep them, civilized in a way.
But when you enter a death battle, throw those morals out the window. We're looking for who wins a no-holds-barred fight to the death.
Kakashi had many impressive tools, tricks, and techniques, but Kenobi's brilliant speed, overwhelming force, and greater level of power won this bout.
In the end, Obi won.
The winner is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Alright, poor Kakashi, but yeah, like I said, they got that one right.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of
At least IMO. Alrighty, the next one is... I know if you're interested in that last one, you're probably thinking, what about this one? And yes, we're doing it back to back. Darth Vader versus Obito Uchiha. This is another Star Wars versus Naruto one. I think I'm gonna go with the same thing here. If Kakashi can't beat Obi-Wan, I don't think Obito is beating Vader. Especially Vader. I feel like if Vader catches him in the Force choke, it's over. What are you gonna do with ninjutsu? Obito though with the lightsaber, if he does use his Kamui to almost be invincible for a second, and so it they could do some stuff with that. I think ultimately though Vader comes out on top. I really like Darth Vader as a villain. I also really like Obito as a villain. Hence this. But yeah, I'm gonna say, kind of same thing as the last one. I'm gonna say Vader wins. Gonna root for the upset a little bit just because I do really like the character as well, and I. Just to root for the upset, but I won't mind.
This episode
Vader
of Death Battle is sponsored. Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith.
Obito Uchiha, secret leader of the Akatsuki.
Prime examples of how you could die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
He's whiz
literally.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor,
very
and
similar
skills to find
story
out who would
arcs
win
too.
A death battle. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the Iron Fist of the Galactic Empire ruled everything.
All thanks to the super powerful super murderer Darth Vader. But beneath his spooky mask lay the husk of former nice guy Anakin Skywalker.
As a child among the harsh wastes of Tatooine, Anakin longed to one day free his fellow slaves as a heroic Jedi.
Lucky for him, he met Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi
Dislikes
who believed little
himself.
Annie was the chosen one and would bring balance to the Force. No pressure, right? So he took him under his wing to become the papa he never had. Or so was the plan, until... yeah.
Instead, Qui-Gon's apprentice became Anakin's mentor. But while Anakin sought a father figure, Obi-Wan saw him as more of a brother.
I'm sure that won't cause any awkward tension whatsoever.
Drama and trauma aside, Anakin quickly became a powerful Jedi. He excelled in lightsaber combat and the Force, an energy field that binds all living things together.
The Force lets Jedi move stuff with their mind, fend off mental attacks, predict the future, and make people believe these are
The Force is just way too OP, man.
They're basically space wizards.
Way,
Through rigorous training and a
way
not
too OP
unnoticeable natural
for what
talent,
it is.
Anakin was particularly skilled in the Form 5 lightsaber fighting styles, Xian and Jem So.
Also known as the Way of the Crate Dragon. You know that big sand dragon Mando blew up from the inside? Yeah, make that a lightsaber.
Form 5 is incredibly versatile, well suited for defending against lightsaber and blaster alike. It focuses on blending parries with devastating counterattacks, aiming to win duels through overwhelming pressure.
Perfect for the Padawan who just bulldozed his way through training to become a Jedi Knight.
Even as a newly knighted Jedi, Anakin could keep up with some of the most experienced Jedi Masters and Sith Lords of his time.
But he had plenty of other problems to deal with, like his late-blooming rebellious teenage angst. I mean, you don't just throw a kid into space monk school and expect him to forget everyone he ever cared about, right? Well, apparently that's what he was supposed to do.
The life of a Jedi can be difficult and cold, something Anakin could not accept. And so, rather than let his secret wife die in childbirth, he was seduced to the dark side through the promise of power.
And so began his Jedi kill streak, until Obi-Wan gave him a glorious lava bath. How refreshing!
But thanks to his new Sith Master Palpatine, our young warrior was saved, reborn, rebuilt. He was now Darth Vader.
Vader is a badass. Everyone knows it, and they're terrified of him. I mean, just look at the guy.
As impressive as his armor appears, you might be surprised by its quirks. See, while the Jedi view the Force as an ally, the Sith see it as a tool from which they draw power through passion and emotion. Most potently, negative emotions. Palpatine trained Vader by not only making him believe he killed his wife, but also ensuring he would never forget the monstrous machine he had become.
By making the suit suck ass and piss him off. Seriously, Vader hates this suit.
The armor would beep at random times just to annoy him, and the life support system was outdated from the start. Sometimes it would even turn off for several minutes.
That doesn't seem good for someone with burnt up lungs.
And it was so heavy and clunky that he could barely walk, sometimes even resorting to moving himself with the Force.
Oh man, I knew Palpy was evil, but I never knew he was such a dick.
Well, despite these issues, the armor fulfilled its
I don't know if I already heard about that. That's
Darth
crazy.
Vader into the equivalent of a slasher movie villain commanding a galactic army.
Nobody wants to mess with him. Thanks to the dark side of the Force, he can make maelstroms that blast everything away, form barriers that shield from all sorts of attacks, and choke anything that's even a minor inconvenience. Hell, sometimes he skips straight to crushing your lungs.
One time, a droid named I-5 tried to kill Vader with a laser stated to move 300,000 kilometers per second. That's light speed, and Vader easily blocked it.
And for as much bullshit as Palpatine threw at him, Vader was tough enough and stubborn enough to push through it.
Palpatine knew that Vader would eventually try to kill him and take over the Empire. It's how the Sith work. So he constantly fanned Vader's hatred by sending assassins after him to make sure he was still worthy of being his apprentice.
Oh, that's nothing. One time, he blasted off most of Vader's robo limbs, destroyed his armor, dropped him back on the lava planet, and told him to make his way back without the Force.
An impossible task, yet one Vader accomplished.
Yeah, because he really wants to kill Palpatine.
And that hatred is apparently
no wonder he betrayed him at the end of episode 6. What? How was he even
I'm sorry,
surprised by that?
Should have hated a little more.
Vader has killed hundreds, possibly thousands of Jedi, including Obi-Wan himself. He's fought entire armies on his own, and even taken on monsters the size of mountains.
He's so unstoppable, an assassin droid hired to kill him quit the job because he calculated that Vader was impossible to kill.
And in Ewoks material from the old Legends canon, a real deep cut, we know, lesser darkside users like the Night Sister Shiral overpowered the Sunstar, an ancient artifact capable of shifting moons, a feat which would require energy worth over 12 septillion tons of TNT.
That's 24 zeros. But if you want something more recent, here's a planet blowing up while Vader was on it, and he's fine.
But thanks to both his incredible power and the mercy and trust of his secret son, Vader would eventually avenge the atrocities of Palpatine. Even more important, he finally saved someone he loved. Ultimately, Anakin Skywalker truly did bring balance to the Force. Hokage,
Obito,
the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village and their strongest ninja, respected and loved by all. Though few have attained this title, many have strived for it.
One such striver, sadly lacking in parents, wanted to both help people and be acknowledged by the rest of the village. And what better way to do that than having your face carved into a mountain? If you think I'm talking about Naruto, guess again! This is the story of Obito Uchiha!
Obito unfortunately lacked the natural talent for ninja arts attributed to his Uchiha bloodline.
So he signed up for ninja school and eventually joined a team with his rival Kakashi, his crush Rin, and their leader Minato. Where'd you think I could get into a ninja school like that?
Not one that teaches you to harness this form of chakra, a limited form of physical and spiritual energy that exists inside all human beings and, naturally, can be weaponized.
He can use it to run up walls and make clones of himself, but even better, blow shit up!
This is ninjutsu. Among its many techniques
Among
include
Us.
elemental attacks, and the Uchiha specialize in all things fire.
Big fireballs, small fireballs, waves of fire, columns of fire, you name it, they've got it. So when Ninja World War III came along, it totally made sense to get this fire ninja involved at the age of 11. Yikes! Well, lucky for Obito, he had one more secret weapon up his sleeve, eye socket, the Sharingan.
The Sharingan grants extremely precise vision, allowing someone to see the flow of chakra, predict an enemy's attacks, cast a variety of genjutsu illusions, and even break out of said illusions.
Too bad he didn't get to use the red eyes much. Like 10 minutes after he got the damn things, he got smushed under a big rock. What a way to go! But since he wasn't expecting to use his super eyes anymore, he handed one off to Kakashi. And then he died. The end!
Oh, so you thought.
Miraculously, Obito survived long enough to be rescued by another Uchiha, the legendary Madara. Madara granted Obito a new body, regenerating the limbs he'd lost.
You're probably thinking, oh, what a swell guy. Except he was not. Madara was brewing some plans for world domination and needed a pawn to carry them out. So he tricked Obito into watching Kakashi kill Rin, making him fall victim to the Uchiha's curse of hatred.
Within the Uchiha clan, there exists an ideal of being extremely devoted to love. It has been speculated that if a particularly powerful Uchiha loses someone important to them, that love will be replaced with an all-consuming hatred. This is how Obito awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan.
Or Red Eye 2.0. The Mangekyo gave him a new jutsu called Kamui. With it, he can suck his foes into another dimension and leave them there to die. He can even hide weapons in there until he needs them, like his gun by fan. But even better, he can phase through stuff.
Well, not quite. Kamui gives Obito the power to move through objects in a manner that's similar to the common phasing superpower akin to the Flash or Kitty Pryde. In reality, it's much more complex, as Obito is actually teleporting parts of his body into the Kamui dimension whenever they overlap with other matter. See, there's his body parts right there.
Well, if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's phasing. Heads up! Yeah! Way later on, he also got another super eye. Man, he's really swapping these things around like a Prime sub on Twitch.
This Renegon grants Obito the power of the 6 paths, giving him some nifty abilities like
I'm
controlling
not even
gravity.
streaming right now. I was like, what did some? I think that's my raid sound.
The David path, ripping out
Like,
souls
what
with the
happened?
human path, and summoning giant monsters with the animal path.
With all of the awful stuff he'd gone through, Obito realized that the ninja world was corrupt to its core. His dream of everyone being happy and working together was never gonna happen. So instead, he agreed to carry out Madara's giga-brain plan to control everything.
Donning masks and multiple personas, he recruited a number of rogue shinobi to form the Akatsuki terrorist group and kicked off Ninja World War IV, all to revive the monstrous Ten Tails.
I know what you're thinking. Wasn't the whole point of this to stop war in the first place? And that's a very good question. Anyway, the Ten Tails!
A living mass of near inexhaustible chakra.
So you have
the
to
Ten
spend
Tails
money
possesses
to make
tremendous
money. You have
power.
to
It can create
fight
massive
war to
thunderstorms and hurricanes, multiple clones of
end
itself,
war.
and the devastating tailed beast bomb.
Forget bomb! That's basically a super nuke! This chakra ball is so explosive, it can eclipse continents and reduce mountains to dust.
Comparing the surface area of this blast to the surrounding mountains, dispersing that much mass within a fraction of a second must have yielded a kinetic energy worth over 13 septillion tons of TNT.
That's 24 zeros! Again, Obito
More
wanted that
24s.
power for himself and was willing to throw hands with anyone to get it. He's held up against master ninjas like Kakashi, Minato, and even Naruto in his monster energy drink form, which could outmaneuver the fastest attack from the Lightspeed Raikage.
And he far surpassed all of them when he finally sealed the Ten Tails within himself, becoming its Jinchuriki. This little makeover granted him unlimited flight, power rivaling the legendary Sage of Six Paths, and the truth-seeking orbs.
These special little bowling balls can shapeshift into any form the user wants, like a staff, giant arms, an umbrella thing, or this crazy spiral blade that apparently helped shape the whole world. Oh, holy shit, it's huge!
The truth-seeking orbs can completely disintegrate anything they touch at both a molecular and spiritual level. Only those with the power of the Six Paths can resist their effects.
Plus, with the Mangle monster in his system, Obito's regeneration got amped to the point where he can survive having half of his body control Alt-Delete it away. All cards in his hand, he was ready for the final stages of the Giga Plan.
He summoned the God Tree and prepared to launch the Infinite Tsukuyomi, a powerful illusion that would trap the entire world in a never-ending dream, free of conflict and sorrow.
But the violent cruelty of the ninja world could only quiver in fear when the anime protagonist walked in the room. After getting 1-2'd by some talk no jutsu, Obito saw within Naruto the spirit of his former self, someone who was always trying to help others. And they'd say his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Obito joined Naruto and Kakashi in saving the world, giving his life to protect his friends. And in his last moments, he entrusted them with reaching the dream he had so long ago, to become Hokage, of which they both succeeded.
Though he may have lost his ninja way, Obito Uchiha overcame his hatred and helped realize the world he wanted.
Alright.
Again?
Well, they did, much like the last one, doing him justice. Obito is very powerful, but Vader is just a tough opponent. The Force is OP. Maybe, Obito, maybe you got this. I really like Vader, too, so this one even more so. Not that I didn't like Obi-Wan, but comparing Kakashi to Obi-Wan, I think as a character, I like Kakashi a little bit more. But like Vader and Obito, comparing them, they're a little bit closer for me. I mean, I still definitely, I think Vader, honestly, I don't think Obito has a chance in this one, so I think Vader's got this one, but maybe like just the underdog.
Keep getting away with it.
Actually, he will, because
underdog aspect. I'm going with.
Dive into the thrilling world of versus music as
You know,
Brando
rooting for Obito maybe a little
to
bit.
life through his commissioned compositions.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Obito versus Darth Vader. Here we go.
I sense your fear, your anger, and a power. I will be taking it.
That power will save this cursed world. You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands.
Then you will die. What? All too easy.
Come away.
I expected more. I won't disappoint.
Oh man, just come away. Right through his weapon. Ooh. See, but if he choked him right there, I feel like he still gets him. Obito's got to pull everything out. Oh. Yeah, that was a good move. That was a good move. Oh. Yeah, they even got like the voice change. Oh. Like he sounded like Madara at first.
You've lost your humanity as well.
On the path of the dark side, it is inevitable.
Oh, the Ten-Tail. Man.
Inevitable!
Okay. You know, Obito is doing better. I forgot like the 10 tails stuff. Ooh. Ooh. Yo, no way. Does Obito actually have this? Oh. Bro, if he gets his suit off.
Accept this gift and die.
Too late.
Oh, we got the infinite Tsukuyo. Yo! Did he just witness? He just trapped him in the infinite Tsukuyo. Yo! That is crazy.
You are liberated from hell. Find peace in the next life.
Well, Vader may have been able to beat Obi-Wan, but he just couldn't handle Obito.
He said the same thing in the. Yo, that's crazy. Okay, no, I'm actually, man. I guess that I wasn't really thinking about like the really crazy stuff, because like I probably need like Madara more for that stuff too. There's gonna be a lot of people upset with that probably, but that makes me kind of hype.
Both Darth Vader and Obito were roughly even in power and speed, so it truly came down to their skill and arsenals.
And boy, did they have some deep bags of tricks. Even some of the same tricks. Both could fend off mental attacks. Both could move things around with their minds. And they both even had options to instantly kill each other.
Vader could simply force crush Obito's body, but Obito could just as easily rip out Vader's soul. However, Obito had a few more impressive options available to him, edging out just enough to earn a win.
For starters, Kamui made Obito extremely difficult just to touch, let alone injure. And as a Jinchuriki, he could regenerate from half of his body getting destroyed.
That is true, and Jinchuriki form is crazy.
Extreme conditions, it obviously can't regrow limbs.
Plus, thanks to his wide array of jutsu, Obito would eventually overwhelm Vader. While chakra may normally be a limited source of energy, unlike the Force, the 10 Tails provided Obito with an unlimited supply. And since chakra is both spiritual and physical energy, this means Obito would be able to fight on indefinitely.
Man, I'm washed. I forgot about the 10 Tails stuff.
Lightsaber combat means that he'd be up close and personal with Obito, right? Which left him vulnerable to getting disintegrated by one of the many truth-seeking orbs. Or even worse, sucked up into the Kamui dimension. Yeah, don't forget about that. Not only would he have no way out, he probably wouldn't even be able to tap into the Force while stuck there.
That is true.
Game over. Have fun starving to death, I guess. Wonder how long you can feed on hate.
Darth Vader may have had a tenacity that few others could match, but against Obito's similar might, busted regeneration, and overwhelming range of abilities, there was no escape.
In the end, Vader's victory just wasn't meant to be.
The winner is Obito Uchiha.
That is fire. Okay, okay. That was a great one. Those both of the Star Wars versus Naruto ones were sick. And man, these animations are just so good. Like they're so well animated too. Even the ones like the old ones, like the 8-bit ones, those were fire as well. And like just the details too, like Obi-Wan or I'm giving Obito. His voice for like Madara changed to his like normal voice. They just think of everything. It's really cool. It would be cool if like this would probably cost a lot of money. Yeah, these probably already cost so much money to make. But if they actually got like actual voice actors to like voice these, that'd be pretty sick. But yeah, they already get pretty good. What's the word? Impressions. I almost said mimics. Alright, so I've been doing this for a while now. This probably is already a long video. Probably only a couple more, like 2 more here. But there are some more that I wouldn't mind checking out. So let me know if there's something where you want me to see or would like to see if I could speak. But this next one is one that I've haven't seen a big series of movies. Haven't seen all of them. Seen some. I've seen like some like clips and stuff and like kill count and stuff about them before. But like I kind of know like the vibe of them already. It is Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers. Friday the 13th versus Halloween. Yeah, two of the most, if not the two most iconic Halloween slasher people. Yeah, these are. This is a good matchup. I think they're both like kind of more. I remember watching Freddy versus Jason like that. I made an actual movie, and if I think Jason might have won that. In the end, I remember if I saw the end of that movie, he's like walking out like over water with like Freddy's head. I don't know if that necessarily means he won that fight or not, but I would actually be down to see more movies like that. Like you know, entity versus entity kind of thing. Don't know if I have too much of a preference on this one. And I might change my answer. Right now I'm going to say Michael Myers wins this. But we'll see if I get presented with the information.
Prepare yourselves. It's time we tell the tale of Crystal Lake's masked murderer, Jason Voorhees.
And the horrifying boogeyman of Haddonfield, Michael Myers.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to bring terror and fright on this Halloween night on Death Battle.
Within the woods of Crystal Lake lurks a killer, buried but not dead, doomed to rise from the grave and slaughter those who live and love, if you know what I mean.
This is the curse of Jason Voorhees.
Rumor has it he was a deformed child, bullied and harassed all of his life, only cared for by his single mother. But not even Mama Voorhees could save Jason when he tragically drowned at Camp Crystal Lake. Or did he?
Over time, Crystal Lake became wrought with strange disappearances and violent deaths.
Including the camp counselors who should have been watching Jason when he drowned all those years ago. Someone, or something, ... was out for vengeance.
And yet these harrowing murders were committed by none other than Jason's own mother, Pamela Voorhees, seeking revenge against those who neglected her child, dooming him to his terrible end.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Good for her, I guess.
However, even after her killing spree was cut short, the deaths continued. Nobody could prove it, but maybe, just maybe, Jason was still alive.
Holy shit! Yeah, he's definitely alive.
I remember hearing learning about that. Like it was his mother, but then like wasn't there actually a Jason? Like it was always confusing to me. I didn't really watch. I didn't watch all the movies, and like I didn't really care about spoilers. So I watched videos about the movies. So I it's like a mix of
Has he been
stuff
living
I know
in the lake this whole time?
Sure.
Jason has fortitude far beyond any normal man. You can swing an axe in his face, blast half his body away, or trap him in an exploding building. Yet it will all be in vain.
Even when one of the few survivors of his attacks hacked him to pieces, Jason rose again. Seriously, this happens a lot.
Nobody knows the true source of his unkillable nature. Some say it's an indigenous curse, others say it's the Necronomicon, and some even say it's a hell worm. So, not too many reasonable answers.
Either way, be careful, or you just might end up on the wrong side of Jason's trusty machete. Something he uses with enough strength to split skulls and pierce metal.
Even when Jason has no weapon, he can be resourceful and oddly creative with his kills. He might bludgeon you to death with a sleeping bag, drown you in a garbage can, or snap you in half between a bedfold.
Worst of all, this demented mama's boy will always get his prey. Oh, you think you can run away? Well, think again, idiot. He can teleport.
No, he can't.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about the time he appeared in multiple places at once around this dance floor? See? teleporting.
Wrong. Hallucinations resulting from a mix of cocaine and panic.
Okay, smartass.
Cocaine
How about when
and
he
panic.
teleported from one end of this ship to another? How'd he get there?
Actually, when watching the full scene for complete context, there is plenty of time afforded for Jason to jump down the deck while off camera. He is quite athletic after all.
What, without making any sound? The guy's built like he's made of 100 brick houses. Are we watching the same movie?
Look, fans have argued this for years, and while admittedly those moments are questionable, they're not enough to prove actual teleportation.
Okay, how about this one? In Jason X, where 3 soldiers are shooting him straight on, and he just disappears. Poof! Gone! While they're looking right at him, goddammit, it's teleporting!
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation.
I just stared at this scene while processing 900 trillion frames per second, and Boomstick is correct.
Ha!
Also, now my eyes are broken. Joy.
You know, Jason can actually teleport in the video game, so I believe it.
I suppose teleporting would explain how,
Can he
despite his
teleport?
hulking size,
If he
Jason
can
move with
teleport,
ghostly silence
maybe he
and
has
pick off
this.
victims one by one.
And
Are
he
you
already,
sure
like I
about
said, I
this,
think he already beat Freddy.
dummy?
Oh.
Either way, Jason's unstoppable bloodlust makes him a horrifying threat.
Even if you think you're protected by a foot of solid steel, he'll just crash through it to stab you.
And though it's tough to believe, there may actually be a deadlier Jason out there too.
Stronger, faster, and campier. This is Uber Jason, rebuilt from Jason's remains through a sinister fusion of science and mysticism. And guess what? Normal Jason later fought Uber Jason and actually held his own. Yeah, the comics get kind of wacky, just go with it.
Only natural for a monster that has fought other supernatural entities.
Like Freddy Krueger,
Yeah.
Leatherface, and the groovy man himself,
Oh, he fought
Ash
Leatherface too?
Williams.
Indeed. So be warned, if you ever see a shadow moving through the darkness and hear a familiar run. Jason is out to find you, and chances are you are not leaving alive.
All right. Yeah, you know, powerful,
On a
powerful. I know that, but let's see what
bleak
Michael
Halloween
Myers
night,
said.
Michael Myers was born into the world as a seemingly normal child. However, beneath
I
his
know these
pale,
have
blank
comics,
face
this
hid
stuff.
something dark, something evil.
How evil? Well, he stabbed his sister Judy to death when he was just 6 years old. Oh, what a rascal.
Michael was institutionalized at a
Rats.
sanitarium where he simply sat still, almost like a machine. His psychiatrist, Dr. Loomis, spent 8 years trying to reach him, but Michael never said a word.
But even when locked up, he still managed to get away with several murders, including Loomis's fiancée. There was no helping or stopping Michael. More than anything, he wanted to kill.
After 15 years, the night before Halloween, he broke out of the sanitarium, leaving behind one word: sister.
The story goes Michael had another sibling, Lori, and for some unknowable reason, he wanted her to suffer the same fate as Judy. And everyone else, really. He's not too picky, and he could do it too.
For in his hands, anything can be a deadly weapon. Countless reports of various murders have appeared across
Yeah, in
Haddonfield.
these old movies too, like literally every time, like if you even thought about having sex in a horror movie, in a slasher movie, you're dead. Every time, literally, Scream, Friday the 13th, Halloween, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, it's all those. You're cooked.
Exploded
You're
heads,
cooked.
boiled people alive, and used his trademark knife to stab poor souls to walls like some macabre piece of art.
When they say to admire your work, I don't think this is what they meant. And this isn't some special combat knife or dagger.
Yeah, I used to watch like the clips of like the kills and kill counts as not a kid, but like a little older kid, like very early teens, I believe. But I watch like the actual
Michael
movies.
is also
I watch some of
surprisingly
them, like I
clever,
said.
despite being confined for nearly all his life. At some point, he apparently taught himself how to drive.
It's pretty clear this masked psycho was definitely plotting something while he was in the ward.
All these kills were just a detour to his ultimate goal, Lori. On an all-too-familiar Halloween night, he finally met his long-lost sister and nearly killed her.
But Loomis intervened, shooting Michael and sending him out a window. Phew, well, guess that's the end of him. Yeah, you know it's not.
No one knows how, but the body simply vanished, only to return later that night as if nothing had happened.
There's a reason why they call him the Boogeyman.
Even after being set on fire and rendered comatose, Michael Myers would not be stopped.
Almost like he's some kind of invincible undead monster.
Many explanations have been given for Michael's strange abilities, but some less reputable sources suggest he's bound to the ancient druidic Curse of Thorn, whose symbol is, well, they say it's an ancient icon of Halloween, but it's actually the Norse rune for Thor, sometimes called the Thorn Rune. I think they just Googled rune and thorn and called it a day.
Whoa. Is Michael Myers a Viking? Yes! Awesome!
Curse or no curse, Michael is inexplicably driven to kill without hesitation, and his victims almost never see him coming.
You said, uh-oh.
Well, explaining Michael away with a vague curse is nothing more than a crutch for the truth. The fact of the matter is, no one knows why he is so cruel, so violent, so unstoppable. He just is.
At the end of the day, evil gives no explanation, only despair.
Michael thrives not just on the satisfaction of murder, but the fear it inflicts in others.
Even scarier, his kills are done with surgical precision. He can murder you as quickly or slowly as he wants. This guy knows exactly what he's doing with that kitchen knife. He's like a hibachi chef of death.
And yet, his attacks were almost brought to an end by Laurie herself. But when the time came for the final blow, Michael proved his intelligence and wit by faking his own death using a body double.
All while getting his sister to commit murder for him. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed.
He's also either impossibly sneaky, or he can use teleportation, because he once moved through a yard full of motion sensors without setting
just give
off
them
a
both
single
teleportation,
one
even the
until he
playing
wanted
field.
to.
Look at this. There's just no stopping him. Fill him full of bullets, Michael will come back ready to rip off your head. Put him in the center of an exploding church, he'll survive and go on to kill dozens more people, just for dramatic effect.
It was this relentless evil that made the people of Haddonfield go ballistic and band together to end Michael Myers once and for all.
Unfortunately, the town would soon realize that was just not possible.
Any ordinary person would have been long dead after what he experienced, but he took all of the town's punishment, got right back up, and went right back to doing what he does best.
And you know what's the creepiest part about all this? They never caught him. He's still out there looking for his next prey, I assume.
So every Halloween night, lock your doors, turn off your lights, and pray you'll make it to morning. Because the boogeyman is real, and his name is Michael Myers.
Okay, that's a tough. They're just both like two like OP, maybe immortal slashers. Maybe can teleport. Like they got like that. They just got. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not sure. I think. This might sound crazy to say, but Jason has more of a reason to be mad than I think Michael Myers does. Like with the backstories, like Jason was done dirty, like when he drowned, and like not that killing people is the option, but I don't know. Michael always he like killed his sister, and then like maybe there's some like I don't know, but. I'm gonna root for here. I don't know why. I'm gonna go Jason. Jason, I'm gonna root for him. Who is gonna win this though? I'm gonna say Michael wins this though. I'm gonna stick with Michael. I'm gonna root for Jason, but say Michael.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Babbel.
It's days like these I wish I could sail the French Riviera, speaking French with the locals. Spanish would be nice too. And Italian, Greek, Mandarin, Farsi, and...
Oh, you barely know how to speak English.
Exactly! If you're like me and there's a foreign language that you regret not learning in school, it's never too late to start with Babbel.
Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million
Don't do this because the Duolingo owl will kill you.
Easy bite-sized language
I'm kidding.
You can finally cross learning that new language off your list. Wiz, did you know?
The 55% off your subscription. That's pretty good.
You only need 10 minutes per lesson.
All All right, the tales have been told and terror runs free. Let's see which monster will stalk another day.
It's time for a spooky death battle!
I don't know if anyone's gonna win this one. I don't know if he can kill either of these guys.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. Kill her. Kill her.
Yeah, get far away from here. Jason can't be done yet. Oh, the axe. Bro, why would you stop? You're doing that like a Dead by Daylight thing? Oh! Oh! Dang, that went through the tombstone? The blade? Ooh.
Kill him, Jason. Kill him. Make your mother proud.
Yeah, they're just both take. Oh! Oh, Jason won it. I think. Yo! Jason might be the GOAT. He might be the GOAT. That's another one that I missed, but I'm not the most upset about.
Okay. Are we
Alright,
sure
let's go
he's
W.
dead?
W. Jason. Exactly. Are we sure?
Michael Myers won't be rising from the grave this time. Jason was too much for him. The stories may paint these slashers as unstoppable, but they do have limits and can be understood.
To Michael's credit, he could match Jason in a lot of ways. Both were experts in methods of killing, and both could totally teleport.
Theoretically. Though if both of them really could teleport, then neither had an advantage in that regard. So teleportation deniers can rest easy knowing it wasn't really a factor here.
Even the explosions they both survived were similar in size and destructibility.
But Jason held the edge with his superior endurance and healing. Michael faking his death with a body double was clever, but he did it because he explicitly could not survive something like decapitation or getting half his torso blown off.
But Jason could. He also had more experience fighting other supernatural enemies like Leatherface, Freddy, and his uber self. So I doubt Michael could have surprised him with something he's never seen before.
And Jason was just as strong and vicious as
I
Michael,
should have
if
guessed
not more.
Jason.
So given the difference in
I
survivability,
should've.
he had a much better chance of striking Michael down
I don't know why
In
I
a
kept
battle between two unkillable
Michael.
monsters, it's only natural it would come down to who was more unkillable.
That was a cool. I'd love to have the actual
To
movie.
pieces, Michael can now rip in peace. Right,
Rip
Jocelyn? Jocelyn? Hello?
Oh yeah, you guys are cooked.
The winner is Jason Voorhees.
All right, gonna do one more here. Like I said, I'd be down to make another video on this. I know this is pretty long, so I'm not sure if this is gonna be a thing or not. But gonna do one more. Even when there's a lot of them that I'm trying to stay away from due to spoilers, there's still a lot I feel like I could watch. This last one is a pretty recent one, coming in at 5 months ago, and I mentioned something that has been is featured in this a few times, saying like a meme every time the word Among came up. It is Among Us versus Fall Guys, the death battle. This one's a funny one. I don't know, it is like Imposter versus Fall Guy. It just is Among Us versus Fall Guys. These were both, pretty big fads. Still people play it time to time, I think. I got both on these pretty late. When Among Us blew up and Fall Guys blew up, I didn't play them, but I've since played them, and like a bit years later, and they're pretty fun. However, I gotta say I significantly like Fall Guys better than Among Us. Among Us is fun, but to me, you gotta have a group of friends. Like if I just join up it's not the same when you just join up on randoms, and it's gotta be like a group of friends. And I always feel like I get imposter, and I hate being the imposter because I always I suck at it. Like I try to kill someone and thing goes off like on cams he killed, like bruh, you're cheating, And Fall Guys, you can just it's easy to play solo. It's fun with friends too, squad. And Fall Guys is awesome. So I'm gonna be rooting for Fall Guys here, but I think Among Us is gonna win just because they got the killer instinct. They got the killer. I don't think Fall Guys even fight. Fall people don't even fight. They don't even kill, I don't think. So let's see what this one is. The imposter sound.
The year was 2020. The long wait as we all experienced the most viral sensation in recent years. It was Among Us!
Among Us!
Fall Guys was the biggest news that year. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the lonely dark of space, aboard a malfunctioning vessel, a peculiar crew of bean-shaped astronauts must work together to save their souls from a quiet demise.
Tons of stuff could go wrong at any moment, and it's up to these colorful clowns to fix it. Impressive, since their spacesuits don't seem to have any arms.
Oh, that's not actually a suit, that's just how they are.
Wait, what? Ew, why?
More on that later. The tasks they undertake to save their ship require varying degrees of difficulty and skill. It may not take much to reconnect some wires in the cafeteria, but it certainly does to clear asteroids when your ship is moving faster than light.
If that's not a suit, then why do they have a cafeteria when they don't have a mouth?
At any point, these creatures must draw from medical training, electrical skills, and mechanical know-how.
Okay, but it's total chaos, so teamwork is key. They gotta spread out and trust that while they're all swiping cards, they have each other's backs. Right?
Well, success is always uncertain, as though fate has placed some external force that stands between this species and their survival.
There's an imposter among them!
Among Us!
I mean, among us! But not us, though. Right, Wiz? Right?
For the 9th time, I'm not an imposter.
That's just what an imposter would say. They're shape-shifting aliens. They could be anyone. Or any mad scientist in a lab coat.
The imposter threatens the pack and pushes them towards extinction by any means necessary. Anything from damaging lights to wrecking the ship's reactor.
Which can be tricky to fix in time. Even though imposters are naturally skilled at crawling through the vents, the crewmates need special engineer training to do the same, so not all of them can McLean it up.
All while the imposters conceal their motivations and infiltrate the herd. The others always know something isn't right, and the imposters use that paranoia to motivate their prey into ejecting each other into space. Just for being kinda sus.
Sus.
Yeah, Wiz is the imposter.
He does seem to know an awful lot about these aliens. And just to put it out there, it isn't me.
That's a good point. Have you
Just
ever
to put-
heard him say sus?
No, what do you mean? Knowing a lot is literally my job.
I can
Jeez, fix your mic, dummy.
I agree with the metal bowling ball.
Well, I knew the sussy baka from the start.
Sussy
And again, just to be very clear, it isn't me.
Same here.
Oh, come on. Anyone could be the imposter, Boomstick. It's completely random.
random starts with R and so does... Oh, I know who it is! It's always the red one!
Wait, what? What? It isn't me! It isn't me!
What is an imposter?
Oh, right.
Oh, there's
There's
one
usually
left.
2 imposters.
Dear God.
The imposters aren't just tricksters.
Depends on the
they're
lobby.
also hunters.
Some of the smaller ones you only
bloodhounds
get one.
tracking and assassinating crewmates when they least expect it.
They'll snap their necks, stab them with a knife, shoot them with a desert eagle, or use their frickin' tongues to impale their faces. Oh, God! Right through the visor.
They may look like they're wearing spacesuits, but that's not a visor. That is their actual face. Examining their cross-section reveals their insides always match the color of their bodies. And
That is
that they're
true.
comprised of exactly one large bone. Which must mean their ability to walk is entirely muscle-based. Their whole anatomy is one unsolvable mystery.
Ew! They've got human toes, buff arms for no reason, and can stretch like Mr. Fantastic? What are these freaky things?
No one knows. They don't even exist within the same realm of mortality as you or I. Even if one of them is killed or ejected into the lifeless void of space, they return as a ghost, invisible, incorporeal, unable to communicate with the living, but nonetheless still among us.
Even beyond death, they can plot the demise of other crew.
Or become guardian angels for the living by literally shielding them.
That's gotta be one tough shield, because remember that Desert Eagle they holster? Apparently, that thing also fires a laser that can rip apart
yeah,
whole
Among Us
planets.
guy got
Good
this.
God! To split this
Unfortunately.
planet apart like that would need over 10 million tons of TNT.
A number so incomprehensible.
Unless I'm
you'd
missing
have to
something
multiply
about Fall
1 billion
Guys.
by 1 billion. Twice.
More than enough to annihilate Earth over 160 million times, which seems like overkill for the, space vampires they were fighting.
Right, the crew has crossed over with a variety of other universes. Fortnite, Vampire Survivors, Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, the classics.
Including this Henry Stickmin guy. Apparently, he's a kleptomaniac with a surprisingly wide and wacky arsenal all the crew can have.
Desert Eagle-eyed crewmates will find Henry's weapons throughout the ship, like a banana bomb, a teleporter, a ninja star, and a magic pencil that can bring drawings to life.
These creepy Teletubbies can sketch whatever they want into existence, and they're suddenly everywhere I look now.
Stop
These
posting
little trash can
pictures
people are
among
freaking
us.
me out.
In a strange way, all of this makes sense for this
A
fascinating
McDonald's
species.
chicken nuggets.
In the face of insurmountable
99,000. I remember hearing about that. They actually
no
sold.
matter what, to use all the tools available and try to survive
Whoa.
again and again. On a ship, on strange planets, anywhere they may be, in spite of anything that may be going on in the world. They either fix what's broken or face certain doom. But no matter what, they do it together.
Among us.
Among Us.
Together. Yeah. Ooh.
Alright, Fall Guys.
Bright, colorful world of the Blunder Dome. Natural habitat to these lovable little beings known as the Fall Guys, who race each other through fun playgrounds with nothing but clear skies above.
These lively obstacle courses showcase their inherent skills and abilities. As if drawn by natural instinct, they hurtle over barriers together and pass through various tests of strength, agility, and mental fortitude.
And it's pretty impressive considering how elaborate these bounce house courses get. How do these weebles wobble through it?
With a shocking level of innate parkour mastery that otherwise hasn't been seen since 2006.
Way
But
half
honestly,
of Mike
not many of the
Wazowski.
beans make it, and only one can be crowned the winner before everything starts all over again.
Which
They're
makes for
poorly
some
good
very
friends with them already.
friendly competition, like survival of the fittest, but for a bunch of candy grimaces. They'll grab, shove, and slam into each other to make it out on top, or even roll up into a ball and launch across the course. Self-preservation be damned.
And over time, the beans have evolved to higher levels of, let's call it imagination. The engineer, Digi, invented the creative device so the beans could start making and designing new obstacles and challenges for themselves, as well as additional tools like wrecking balls, wind-up boxes for punching foes, and even translators that make their nonsensical language intelligible.
But even at their best, they're still just flinging themselves over these obstacles like a bunch of drunken lemmings.
This species seems to have a biological urge to navigate these courses for one singular purpose: get that crown.
I mean, if I could be king for a day, I'd push you off a cliff right now.
Very funny. Get away from me.
Things in the Blunder Dome can get wild. We've seen these goobers get smacked by giant mallets and fall into actual hot lava, but they always pop back up at the qualification stage later, completely unharmed. Somehow.
These remarkable creatures have demonstrated some dumbfounding durability, such as getting struck by meteors. That's a hit anywhere from 18 tons of TNT to 15 kilotons. But they still get right back up to Rube Goldberg themselves straight through another obstacle course.
On top of that, they were hit with the Big Bang and came out the other side completely fine. Wait, what? Did I just say the Big Bang? Why do we even mention the meteor? Who cares? Their suits are basically indestructible.
Boomstick.
Maybe Fall Guys does have this.
No.
Those aren't really...
Don't say it!
Those aren't actually suits. That's their skin.
Oh, man. People were getting weird back in 2020. Didn't they have better things to do?
With only arms, legs, and eyes, there must be some genetic mechanism inside the beans that causes them to be self-sustaining. Though after some dissection, it's unclear. This is an official image, by the way.
I don't know what's more upsetting, that skeleton or the fact that these jelly beans are 6 friggin' feet tall.
Imagine bumping into this thing in a dark alleyway. No, thank you.
So, this means when you start the game, you're just flat out naked? Just swinging away, beans in the wind.
Strange such nakedness would be allowed, considering what's actually happening is the Fall Guys are contestants in a non-stop 24/7 game show, the Ultimate Knockouts. Yeah, that's what's actually happening here. So what might be misconstrued as some sort of migration cycle is really a brutal, never-ending gauntlet that takes advantage of their tunnel vision.
So it's like the Truman Show mixed with Wipeout and Naked and Afraid. What happened to them being just colorful cartoon beans?
And they survive to keep playing the game no matter what. The game makers have said that when the beans fall to their death, they feel a moment of displacement, serenity, zen-like detachment from all worldly and physical bonds. Then they pop back onto the podium to celebrate their achievements. That's an official quote.
They've also said they're strong enough to rip someone in half and can stretch their bodies so far they pass beyond the observable universe.
Never mind. The Fall Guy has this.
Oh yeah! January 18th, 2022, 9:14 a.m. The Fall Guy stretched so far he exited the universe as we know it, and then he kept going.
Speaking of universes, the Fall Guys have seen dozens of guest stars from other stories and have learned from their cultures, like flying around in the TARDIS of Doctor Who fame, wielding He-Man's power sword, launching Ryu's iconic
Invincible,
or even just
Master Chief,
becoming Pac-Man. They just become Pac-Man. They're Pac-Man.
Godzilla
Yes,
too,
I know we've seen
Mechagodzilla.
some crazy things on the show, but these 6 feet tall jelly bean monsters eat food through their feet. What are we about to rot upon the world? Is this cute and colorful reality an endless void of darkness and despair? Revelations of disturbances too catastrophic for the human mind to process? A vicious cycle on this blue marble surrounded by mouthless, dead-eyed beans.
Pretty much.
Ah, cool. Let's see them fight.
Let's see him fight.
Gotta play
What
that
is this
mobile
gonna
game with
be?
all the super-
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the
Here
data
we
through
go.
all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
There are imposters among us. So it's not 1v1, it's... Oh, but that's friendly fire. You guys gotta team up. Everyone was ejected. Eliminated. Oh. Bruh. Oh. Oh, a task and... Oh. Yeah, the Among Us people keep dying. Oh. Yeah, Among Us is cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. 11037. Yeah, that's a Danganronpa reference. That's fire. Now it's on the. Oh, yeah, Fall Guys. Fall Guys definitely. Oh, this might be a little late to say. I forget if I actually announced, but I switched the prediction to Fall Guys when they said about this stuff. When I was like, yeah, Fall Guys got this. I've switched the prediction. Banana! Oh. Oh. There go. Pac-Manic the ghost. That is fire. Pencils are Yo. Oh no. Input. Oh. Oh no, he's good. Oh. Yeah, Fall Guys won. Thought you were stronger, Fall Guys. The Fortnite dance too. Okay, oh yeah.
When's the next episode? This is my new favorite show. Remember Chimp Crazy?
We broke this
That was
down
a
into
great
3
one
categories:
too.
offense, defense, and the bizarre. Let's start with offense.
I mean, the bogus Among Us could blow up planets,
Among
not
Us.
to mention moving faster than light to hit all those planets in one shot. It's kinda out there, but no Fall Guy has ever done anything like that. The crewmates clearly get the edge in offense.
Though that impressive power matters less when we look at defense.
It's crazy how much damage the Fall Guys can walk off. They survived anything their course threw at them, took hits from meteors, and most importantly, survived the Big Bang. You know, the explosion that blew the whole frickin' universe into existence? Easy edge for the bumbling beans.
We can even go a step further. Both of these creatures have demonstrated various forms of invulnerability and death negation, like how the Fall Guys could always pop back up for another round, or how the crewmates became ghosts when they die. However, only the Fall Guys had a viable counter. Only the Fall Guys could ensure that their foe stays dead.
Pac-Man, they can become Pac-Man, who, you know, eats ghosts.
Brilliant.
Which leads us to the truly bizarre stuff about both of these beanie freaks.
They could both stretch their bodies to absurd lengths, but only the Fall Guys stretch beyond the observable universe in a matter of minutes. In fact, if we take these posting times literally, that would mean the Fall Guys can stretch at speeds over a quadrillion times faster than light.
I don't know, Wiz. That feels like a bit of a stretch.
The crewmates did have plenty of answers to the Fall Guys hijinks, like a magic pencil sword to fight off He-Man's power sword, or how they could potentially hack Digi's creations.
But the overwhelming amount of stuff that the Fall Guys have access to just dwarfs the Among Us crew's arsenal. I mean, Hadoukens, TARDIS, just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, the spaceship crew had a few deadlier weapons among them, but the Fallen Guys had too many
I think
options
Doom
that
Slayer's
could
in
not be
there as
countered.
well.
The crewmates may
Chief
have been
and
cunning
Doom.
and dangerous, but the one-track-minded Fall Guys just wouldn't go down.
Making sure the losers of this fight were no longer Among Us.
Oh no, we never found the second imposter!
Ah, damn it, I knew that stupid robot was sus!
Sigh. So embarrassing.
The winner is
The winner is the Fall Guys.
Fall
And me.
Guys. Yeah, that was. I think that was. That reminded me a little bit of like the Rebecca Black and Justin Bieber one. Maybe like still like a serious one, but more of like a satirical one. But like. That one was fire too. I really like Fall Guys. I also really like Among Us as well. But yeah, I like Fall Guys the better game, so I'm happy with that. I didn't know they were so OP though. I went in expecting that Among Us Imposter would win that, but no, not even in the slightest. So yeah, I did switch the prediction in time, by the way. I didn't keep up with whether I got the picks right or right. I know I went on like a decent like losing streak or like an opposite these, but I got that one. I think I missed the Obito one. I got the Kakashi one. I missed the Jason one. Honestly, I forget some of the other ones, so I'd have to go back and figure it out. But yeah, that is going to do it for me this time. But like I said, there are some that I still can watch. But like I also said, not all of them are completely spoiler free for me personally. So I am not choosing not to watch them. Even some that I'm just choosing to maybe be careful about. Like I know there's like a Naruto and Ichigo one, which would be really cool for me of all people to watch. But I am not. I'm an anime only when it comes to Bleach. I'm not even caught up with the newest anime season of Bleach yet. I know it was like an older one, but the manga stuff has been out for like so long. I feel like they take that into consideration, so I'm staying away from that as well. Also, I haven't really watched Boruto, as I think I mentioned in this. I don't know if they take any of that, so I may have to like hold off on that one for a bit. But some others I may be able to watch, some others not. But yeah, let me know if you want to see some more. And go ahead, you can go for it if you want me to react to a certain one. I'm not sure. I can't promise it because of reasons I literally just stated. But I can maybe do that. Maybe do another one of these, another binge of some death battles. And yeah, these are really good researched, put together, animated, composed. Like, shout out to everyone a part of this. Shout out to Wiz and Boomstick for being the host. Shout out to the animators. Shout out to the composer, which his name was like a sponsor one time. I forget, it's like Brandon something. Brandon Yates. And everyone involved in the death battles. And thank you guys for watching these reactions. Hopefully if you did enjoy. This was probably a long one, but it was intentional. I saw the Chief versus Doomslayer one, and let me check out a few more death battles. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. It's always up to you. I will see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Maybe some more death battles, maybe something else, maybe some South Park reactions. We'll see. But yeah, good boy.